the Big 12 championship, you'd be in the conversation. Jed Fish getting I'll stop there.
You're not going to tell me who might be on the show? Green light, yellow light?
Oh, I already said his name.
Who?
Oh, do you want me to throw it out?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say it on the show. No, okay.
I mean, I can if you want me to.
It doesn't matter to me. No, let's go ahead and do it.
Dan Lanning.
Dan Lanning as a yellow light. Is Ian going to be there?
He is not going to be there. Ian will be in Dallas, but he talked to Dan this morning, and he said right now it is scheduled for Friday.
All right.
So that'll be interesting.
I would love to have him on the show. Greg from Pell City, always on the show. He'll get us to trash, and he'll get up on that roof, Greg will, and let you know if you need a new roof. Storm damage, man, there have been a lot of storms that have come through. Do you have that storm damage? Greg will get up there, and he'll evaluate that. He may tell you, hey, you're good to go. He may tell you, let's get the insurance agency involved. If you just need a new roof, I mean, listen, roofs age out. So you're going to need one at some point. Let Greg look at it. Many times people have said, hey, I had Greg on my roof. He came down and said, I got 3 or 4 years left. He's going to squeeze everything he can out of it. Family man, great man, 205-542-3531. That is 205-542-3531. Storm Restoration Roofing, our guy Greg from Pell City.
And Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback, who is really he's been fantastic. He's been when he's not injured, he's great.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends from Bud Light. Did you guys play that because Herm Edwards butchered the name so bad?
He did. What did he call him? Tuavaloa? I think he combined first name and end of last name.
Tualoa.
Tualoa. We start first. Streaming platform Roku. I've got a bunch in my house. I don't know why I said Roku.
It's very French.
Has launched a new 24-hour TV channel that shows nothing but AI movies and shows all day, every day. This has got to be terrible.
Yeah, looks awful.
Now, Roku, which is to be bought by Fox for $22 billion, recently introduced 4 brand new channels that are available for free for all of its users. One of these, found at number 300 of the Roku channel, is Fairground AI, which broadcasts nothing but AI-generated content.
I think of all the platforms now, Roku is the best. Or at least it's the one I've had the most success with. I get you call those platforms. What do you call those?
All Roku is basically an extension of a smart TV.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a streaming platform, but every TV has its own built-in, I don't know what to call these. It's not a platform system. I don't. Tyler, help me here.
It's just it's smart TVs.
No, I know, but they come with a, what is Roku? What would you call that? It's not a platform. It's a operating system for a TV or something like that.
Yeah, it's a smart TV operating system.
Yeah. But of all the ones, I think Roku's the best one, is what I'm saying. Like, I've had Samsungs.
Yeah, Samsung TV's okay.
Yeah.
You're talking about
is bad?
The Roku picture?
No, I'm talking about just the operating. The operation.
Because I've got a couple of Roku TVs. I've got one in the home office and one outside, and the picture ain't.
Yeah,
they're not great.
I've got LGs, and I transform them into the Roku platform. I like that. That's what I'm saying.
With Roku, you've got to pay extra to get 4K. That's why.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But I do have Rokus, like your brother-in-law that came and wired a lot of things.
Roku's the best one, in my opinion.
He put these Roku through the through the remote or whatever.
Seth says Fire TV is the best one. I've never dealt with Fire.
I haven't used a Fire stick.
Yeah, I haven't used Fire.
We used to have that guy in the chat that would jailbreak.
Tommy Firestick.
He reached out a couple of days ago.
Nick says Google TV's good. I've not used Google either, so maybe I shouldn't be commenting on this now that I realize I haven't used it.
I was talking to a buddy over the weekend. He has Apollo, and I'm like, what the hell is Apollo? He's $180 for everything. Yeah. And I'm like, well, where do you send your bill? He's like, I'm not really sure. And I was like, is it legal? He was like, I'm not really sure.
I don't think
he was like, but I get everything. And I was like, well, everything, pay-per-view too? Absolutely. In theater? Absolutely.
Now, Roku,
that doesn't sound legit.
Roku was like the first, I want to say it was like the first smart TV where you didn't have to like buy like an attachment.
That's right. Yeah.
So like
When you trust a doctor with your life, they owe you proper care. If medical negligence left you or a loved one injured, you deserve answers and compensation. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys have recovered over $2 billion for their clients harmed by medical errors, misdiagnoses, and surgical mistakes. They fight hospitals and insurance companies so you can focus on healing. Don't wait. Medical malpractice cases have strict deadlines in Alabama. Call Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. You pay nothing unless they win. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Welcome in. It is The Next Round, presented by Bud Light. Along with Lance Taylor, I'm Ryan Brown. Dunaway's vacation continues. He'll be back with us on Monday. Scott, Brooks, Tyler, the entire backroom crew in action today. We welcome you in. We've got a nasty divorce in college football brewing. Nasty divorce that has now become public.
Yeah,
These are hard to watch.
Very, very surprised with this
Yeah,
one.
I am too. This is a very quick divorce. These two have not been married too long.
No. I think it's really silly, too.
I agree. Very nasty divorce. We'll check in on Alabama, Auburn camp, whatever the camp. We got Georgia camp we're going to check in on here. Let me check my list from Scott. Texas camp. We got Clemson camp. Lance is going to love the Clemson check-in. Our 40-40 team today back in college football. Toughest schedules. I mean, I got a lot to get to. The odds of total teams from each conference to make the playoffs, over-unders. We got a lot to get to today.
Okay. Well,
NFL preseason back tonight?
Yeah, we got 6 games. So 12 teams tonight. We went one full week, which I never understood or never have understood the fact that we play this Hall of Fame game. We all wait on it. We had for the first time in forever, a really exciting one.
Yes.
And then we got to wait a full week when all these teams are out there practicing anyway.
You'd almost like to see 1 or 2 games on Saturday or Sunday, right? Is that what you're saying?
They're running joint practices,
night. Yeah.
so if you're going to run joint practices, why not join some of these games?
And they are retracting. I mean, they'd rather do no preseason games, the players, but they're cutting back on preseason games, not adding 2. So we're actually going the other way. But I'm with you. Especially as good as that Hall of Fame game was. There have been some stinker Hall of Fame games, but that one was fantastic. And I was ready to watch more football.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would have loved some. But we get it back tonight and a couple games on NFL Network. There are 6 total games, 12 teams. We'll run through those and get Lance's thoughts on each of these teams, and we'll do all of that. Let's start with the divorce because it's kind of breaking news today. The divorce in college football. Jayden Daniels, I mean, if you think great LSU players of all time, just start running off. When I say, Lance, give me the greatest LSU players of all time. Go.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, let's go, Billy Cannon.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, just going. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Falk.
That's the one I always think of that doesn't get enough love.
I mean,
he wasn't on great teams.
I love Boo Kennison way back in the day.
Yeah.
You've had so many.
Marcus Spears was fantastic
Beckham.
There. Yeah, I mean, Jamar Chase. You didn't say Jayden Daniels. Was that intentional? You didn't say Jayden Daniels, or does it take you
I
that
know
long
who we
to
were
get
talking
him?
about, yeah.
Nobody ever mentioned Honey Badger.
Honey Badger was a great LSU player.
Tyrann Mathieu was incredible.
Mathieu. Yep.
What I don't understand is how Jayden Daniels has got his poon hurt here.
Uh-oh.
And this guy, I know he was a Heisman Trophy winner, but this guy didn't win any championships.
Yeah.
Like, we don't retire you. First of all, we're in agreement. You retire players' jerseys.
Yep.
You don't retire
numbers.
Retire the numbers.
Yeah.
Now, there are certain organizations in the NFL where they're like number 56 for Lawrence Taylor with the New York Giants. That's sacred.
Yeah, but the difference in the NFL and college football is in the NFL, you don't need all 100 numbers.
Right.
You need all 100 numbers in college football because you've got more than 100 people on roster.
Yeah.
So you need all 100 numbers at some point.
Yeah, I mean, like last night, Maddie was looking at the Alabama and the Auburn team photos. She's like,
you run that exercise with her?
Yeah, she immediately popped it.
Yeah.
Like, this one is like very, very uniform. This one is messy. But she was like, why are there 217s? And I had to explain. There's 105 players
It's got
out
more
there.
than 100. You got 100 numbers, you got 105 players. Somebody's got to share.
Yeah, so like, and I, like the New York Yankees are going to run out of numbers. We've talked about this
They don't
before.
have any single-digit numbers available,
Yeah.
I don't think. Like, if you're a Yankee and you've always been like, yeah, I'm a single-digit guy. No, I'm sorry, sir. We have no single-digit numbers available.
But for LSU, you retire the jersey, you don't retire the number, and Jayden Daniels to get pissed off because DJ Pickett, a sophomore cornerback, is going to get his number 5 when you did not win a championship. Joe Burrow, I've got no problem with this argument with Joe Burrow, really. I mean, it would be LSU's fault that they retired the number and then brought it back. But if Joe Burrow wants to bitch and complain, he can do it because he's earned the right. Jayden Daniels has it.
So for those that don't know now, well, let's do this in order here, Tyler. Let's go back last week to cut number 9. This is Lane Kiffin. I told Tyler cut number 9, but he already had it pulled up. He knew what we're doing here. Lane Kiffin last week talking about an incoming freshman that had been promised by the previous administration, you can wear number 5. Problem with that is Jayden Daniels wore number 5, and there was some question, do we let somebody else wear number 5? Lane Kiffin talked about it this less than a week ago. Here's what Lane Kiffin said.
DJ is in 5, and that was a situation that was promised to him in recruiting here for him to sign here. And I've done a lot of research on that with the family and the representatives and the people. And so really, I didn't have a decision to make. It was promised to the kid. It wasn't done for whatever. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to judge something that I wasn't here of. But when a kid's promised something to come to school, he should wear it. And so at that point, I don't really think that's my decision. You should be honored what he was told. And so he's wearing it.
First of all, before we get to the Jayden Daniels part, Lane gets bashed for everything, and he earns a lot of that. I actually respect this. He's like, I didn't promise that to him, but he was promised by a representative of Louisiana State University, and I'm going to honor that promise. What am I supposed to do, come in and break a promise?
I agree, but this is an easy way out for Lane.
It would have been.
No,
but
it is an easy way out. And look, I had nothing to do with this. He was promised, which I agree with you.
Yeah.
If the kid and the family, and after he did his due diligence, like the kid was promised that, he should get the number, but it is an easy way out for Lane to avoid the controversy.
That's true, yeah. Like, I got nothing to do with this. I'm just honoring a promise that Brian Kelly made, the same guy that tore down an apartment complex to build a house so he could see the Golden Dome. Yeah. I mean, that's all I'm doing here.
I've got, 2 problems with this. First of which, Jayden Daniels getting this upset about it.
Yep.
Because, again, the legacy is a Heisman Trophy. He was a great player. He's got a great, fantastic career ahead of him. We saw what he was able to do his rookie season. He gets hurt last year, only plays in 7 games. He's a great player, no doubt about it, but I can't believe he's bitching. And at the same time, I cannot believe, well, I shouldn't say this. I mean, these kids today are these kids today, but DJ Pickett agreeing to go to LSU only if he gets number 5.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too.
If this guy's like, and I don't know what it's, what it came down to, but if he's like, hey, Miami has promised me 5, and you guys either give me 5 or I'm not coming to Baton Rouge. So you're going to give up being an LSU Tiger, playing for SEC championships and national championships if you don't get the number you want at 17 years old. You want to take the number that a guy that has been in an NFC championship game, has won a Heisman Trophy.
Yep.
You want to take his number, and you're not going to come here unless you get it?
Yeah.
Kick rocks.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. This DJ Pickett kid better be really good. I mean, this reminds me a little bit. There is a difference here. But it reminds me a little bit of, why can I not say his name? The kid that came out of Penn State to the Giants that wanted 56, Lawrence Taylor's number.
Abdul Carter,
who goes to the Giants, and he floats the idea of 56, and everybody in New York's like, are you out of your mind? Lawrence Taylor wore 56.
Yeah.
You think you're going to come to the New York Giants and wear 56? Get out of here, kid. You go get the number they give you, and Lawrence keeps 56.
Look, and I think DJ Pickett is going to be, he was a stud as a freshman last year. He's one of those big, rangy cornerbacks you don't see, 6'4". So, if this guy continues to progress, he's going to be a first-round guy, and, that'll be in 2028.
So with all that floating around today, or this past week, today it comes to light that Jayden Daniels' representatives, more on that in a moment, have officially requested that LSU quit using his name, image, and likeness. Now, Scott is showing you the letter on the screen. I doubt you want to go read that letter. I will tell you from what I am told. I have not read the letter either, but I'm reading people that have. The use of the number 5 isn't mentioned here. Now, you've got to think that's what sparked this, right? Was somebody using his number. But basically, Jayden Daniels is saying, quit using my name, image, and likeness. It is a rather long letter, and it's written to LSU, to Virgil Osbury, the athletic director, no longer use my name, image, and likeness. Now, I mentioned Jayden Daniels' representation. Scott reminded me of this fact. Scott, what is unique about Jayden Daniels' representation?
His agent is his mom.
Yeah, never heard of that in my life.
I thought you were going to say Jimmy Sexton, who also represents Lane Kiffin.
Now we're crossing lines there.
I mean, would that surprise you?
No, but Jimmy probably talks Jayden out of it, honestly.
His mom
is his agent, yes.
That'll end bad, too.
It's
family and business
generally a bad idea.
Does not work at all on any level ever.
Generally a bad idea there.
Ryan, I was going to bring up, the legal document doesn't mention the number, but the report that ESPN put out late last night had a statement from his representation.
Right.
So his family that specifically mentions that they felt disrespected by the number being.
And that's fine. I tell him to kick rocks, too.
Jayden Daniels.
Yeah. All of them.
Goose brings up an interesting point in the chat. He says, did he sign an NIL deal that gave up his rights to continued use after he leaves LSU?
Yeah. It's a very good question. I would hope his mother, I don't know if she's an attorney or just acting as an agent, you would hope they read that before they go to any of this trouble, because this could be an open and closed case. Like, he could have signed a letter that said, not only do you get name, image, and likeness here at LSU, we retain the rights to continue to use your name, image, and likeness in the future.
Here's what I would ask you. What do they use his name, image, and likeness on outside of selling those generic 5 jerseys all over the place? He's not going to be able to do anything about that.
No. I mean, if his name's not on the back of it,
So, like, I haven't been to Tiger Stadium in probably a decade. I don't know, if they, in the last couple of years, have, posted his picture up there. And, I mean, I don't know what else it would be. I don't think this would be that big of a deal for LSU.
They probably use some of it in promotional content on social media.
Probably.
I'm
sure there's
recruiting, I'm sure.
I'm sure there's signage of him in the facility and in the stadium.
And this will also include, like, as the team's coming into the stadium, like the videos you see at Auburn, Alabama, he won't be allowed to. Yeah,
it's going to be like he never played there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you show the highlight. I mean, I don't know. Interesting legal battle here. If I just show highlights, some of this might go back to the Daniel A. Moore versus University of Alabama lawsuit, where Daniel A. Moore is like, I'm just painting a historic moment. It just so happens your school logo is in that moment, but I'm just documenting a historic moment. And Alabama argued, but you're using our school logo to make money. And the court sided with Daniel A. Moore. It was a long, drawn-out case, but they were like, he's painting a historic moment. Like, if I just show historic highlights, Jayden Daniels is in them.
Yeah, I don't think you can do anything about that.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean,
that would be like filing a suit with ESPN, who, by the way, has the rights to the Super Bowl this year, and saying, you can't use my likeness anymore.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think that's...
In that case, that's where the ESPN says, the NFL actually owns your likeness, and they say we can. And that'll be, to Goose's point in the chat, probably one of the legal proceedings here. What did the NIL that you signed when you came here from Arizona State actually say?
I just think it's so silly. I think it makes the C.J. Pickett look bad. I think it makes Jayden Daniels look bad. LSU more mud on the Lane Kiffin era beginning.
Oddly, Lane is the one that looks best in this whole thing. I mean, that's normally not where you find Lane, but that's where you find Lane here. He's like, my hands were tied. There's really very little I can do about this.
I mean, Jayden Daniels seems like a really, really good kid. I'm sure he is.
I guess
but
I've never met him.
I just can't believe the ego on this guy to make this kind of noise.
Yeah. More of your reaction. A lot of reaction on this in the chat. You guys are passionate about this, and we'll get to some of that. First, our friends at NASCAR are coming back to the Talladega Super Speedway. 877-GO-TO-DEGA, 877-GO-TO-DEGA, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. That's where you find tickets to the Yellowwood 500 weekend, which is coming up in October. Man, cool skies, great temperatures there, and great racing. October 23rd, 24th, and 25th is when you'll find the Yellowwood 500 weekend at Talladega Super Speedway. Reserve your spot in the grandstands, reserve your spot in the infield, in the camping area, and make sure you reserve a place at the Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. That is Talladega Super Speedway. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA for the Yellowwood 500 weekend.
And for a lot of people, unofficially, the weekend starts on Thursday. A great place to go. Odie's Tavern, either location, the Crestline location, the original, the newer location right there in Edgewood on Broadway. Live music every Friday and Saturday. Fantastic food from Rodney Davis. Almost 4 decades now of the wings, the burgers, burgers, those great sandwiches like the Diablo sandwich. Stop in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Ice cold beer buckets as well. Birmingham Institution, it's Odie's Tavern.
So Rod in the chat, retire nothing. Love how Alabama doesn't. I don't know who made that choice at Alabama at some point. Like, at some point, somebody at Alabama was like, yeah, these professional organizations, these schools, they're retiring numbers. We got a lot of great players. We're not retiring anything. I don't know who made that call at Alabama.
It was the Bear Bryant era. It
Could have
had to
been.
be.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that was the era in which it's done, and maybe it was Bear Bryant that did it. But whoever did it, great call by Alabama, because much like the Yankees, you were going to run out of numbers in a hurry.
I would just, again, truth serum for some of these old school coaches. Can you imagine just having a conversation off mic with Nick Saban today about how he feels about this whole situation? Can you imagine a 17-year-old like Nick Saban's in his living room with his family, and he's like, okay, Coach Saban, I want to play for you, but I have got to have number 5. If not, I'm going to play for Cristobal.
Wasn't it Reuben Foster's family, his grandmother's birthday that all those coaches went to?
And did the electric slide or whatever?
Yeah. And I think Saban didn't. I think he sent his staff. I think Malzahn went. And I just remember, like, boy, this kid, if he's leveraging his grandmom's birthday to get coaches to visit, this kid better be good. Reuben Foster was pretty good.
Yeah, Reuben Foster was good.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Maybe he earned that.
Yeah.
I think that's who it was. I think it was Reuben Foster.
I think it was.
Tyler's laughing at it. He doesn't remember. His grandmother had a birthday party, and it was like her 80th, 90th birthday, whatever.
It was so awkward, too, because it's nothing but family and friends, and they're
coaches,
doing their thing, and then you got a bunch of freaking college coaches standing around.
Yeah, so he's just basically like, I'm going to see how much power I have with these coaching staffs. If you want me, you come to my grandmom's birthday. And guess what? They went.
I'll tell you what it was like, because I'm going to use this reference because, Brown, I guarantee you didn't see it again last night. When Ben Affleck goes on the interviews for Matt Damon and just, retainer, and he's like, how much money do you guys have? And the recruiters are like pulling their wallets out and just giving him whatever. They are pushing the envelope as much to see how bad they really want him to get this job.
Yeah.
Back to your point about what would coaches think if you gave them truth serum. Imagine what Bear Bryant would say if you brought him back to life and gave him truth serum and then just showed him Ryan Coleman Williams getting paid massive amounts of money and painting his nails.
Well, I mean,
Imagine
there's so many things. But look, Scott's got the video of electric. Now, is that at Reuben's birthday party, Scott?
I think it is.
No, because Saban's there.
Not,
that's a recruiting visit. Yeah, Saban used to do the electric slide on recruiting visits.
Yeah, I'm not sure who he's visiting here, but it's a recruiting visit.
Now, I've always said hell would be moving furniture for the rest of your life with no AC.
Yeah.
But boy, if you threw me into that and you're like, you are stuck here for eternity.
Yeah, you got to do the electric slide just to get a kid to consider coming to play football.
Or even if I had to sit in a freaking lazy boy and watch that.
You're the greatest coach in the history of the game, and you need to do the electric slide just to get a kid's attention. That's frustrating. And by the way, before you take that tone about me not watching Good Will Hunting, I went to the movies last night and watched Spider-Man, A Brave New World, A Whole
Brand
New
New
World,
Day.
Brand New Day.
Brave New World.
Yes, whatever it was.
The last Captain America was called Brave New World.
Okay, out of 5 stars.
I don't know much about Spider-Man, so I didn't follow it well. The John Berthal character, is that just for
I didn't
that
know
movie?
much about the atomic bomb, but I was able to give a rating on Oppenheimer.
Well, if I could ask, I mean, I don't know why you're coming at me this morning, but if I could just ask a few questions before I get my rating.
Sure.
Yeah.
The John Berthal character, was that just unique to that movie, or is he in all the comic books?
No, that is the Punisher. He's
We just kept calling him Frank, so I didn't know who that was.
Frank Castle is his real name, but his superhero name is the Punisher, and he's just sort of a vigilante who beats up corrupt cops and goes after the mob. He's like a lower level guy that hangs out with
Did the act get a little old?
Yeah, the old vigilante, oh, shut up, you pansy, that act, that was a little much for me.
That's John Bernthal in every movie.
Yeah, it's true. And then Tuco Salamanca, the Scorpion, that's a normal character, right?
Well, that wasn't Tuco. That's Nacho.
Nacho, okay. Yeah, it's Tuco's brother, right? Nacho.
Yeah. They had a relation
or whatever,
I'd never seen that character before, but I thought it was interesting Nacho got that role.
Yeah.
Michael Mando, he played him in Spider-Man Homecoming, and then he also was the main villain in Far Cry 3, the video game, which is where he got his start.
Now, I did the other thing. I didn't think Spider-Man. Hang on before you start.
I'm just laughing at the chat.
Before the
we
chat
got
bashes me.
Samuel saying Ristinkshi, Brave New World.
Yes, whatever.
And then Scott saying, I'm not a marine biologist, but I enjoyed Jaws.
I just want to ask a few questions.
Go for it.
I didn't think.
But were you familiar with Spider-Man as a kid?
I knew he was there. I didn't read comic books really. I wasn't a comic book guy, and I didn't get into the superheroes that much.
So do you have any idea how he got his powers?
Yeah, he got bit by a spider, a Black Widow, right?
No, I think it was a lab spider.
spider.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I didn't think Spider-Man talked when he had the mask on. As a kid, I remember Spider-Man being a mute when the mask was on.
That's like the main thing he does. He's known for like his banter with all the villains.
Okay,
while he's
so
fighting.
yeah. So is Spider-Man
Very witty.
historically kind of the squeaky nerdy guy, or did we just do that?
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So he's a teenager.
Yeah,
All right,
Stan
so-
Lee
for the most
wrote
part.
him
Yeah.
originally to
Yeah.
be just sort of an every kid character. Just the guy who gets bullied, who's
Gotcha.
into the nerdy stuff,
Okay.
stepping up and being a hero.
With all of that said, with all those questions asked, I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty good.
Well, that's about. I mean, I gave it about 3.5 or 4, and
Yeah.
I've seen more than half of all the Spider-Man.
Yeah, my daughter really liked it. She says they're doing another one. A little more of a love story than I had thought it was going to be. I wasn't expecting as much of the love story.
That's following up on the previous
the last.
movie.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
So
kind of the
he's-
theme going in.
Oh, so he's chasing Zendaya?
He's forgotten, man.
Yeah, that did. He had some loneliness.
I mean,
there.
imagine if you went home today and Jennifer didn't remember you and had no memories of you.
Why do they not remember him?
How many
There
husbands?
was a spell that Doctor Strange
Yeah.
cast
Oh.
because
What
he
is
was bringing
this?
in villains from all across the multiverse.
okay.
Benedict Cumberbatch, man. I know.
Yeah. I
Big
know
fan.
him.
But how many husbands, not you, would be excited if they got home and their wife were like, "Who are you?"
I know some of them would be like,
They'd go straight back to the bar.
I'm out. I'll be on the golf course. I'll be at the bar. Yeah, so all that's at 3.5.
Okay.
3.5 stars. I mean, it's fine.
Goodwill Hunting tonight or NFL preseason?
NFL preseason tonight. I'm not going to miss
Well,
football.
I've got a recommendation on later today for viewing menu that I think everybody should enjoy.
Okay. Well, I'll listen to you.
Yeah, and I saw a movie last night that you've seen that I thought was really well done.
Alrighty.
Very freaky, but
Obsession?
I will tell you the guy, too, that is not here today, I bet he's seen it. I bet he's watched it
You
twice.
think Dunaway's seen it?
Yeah.
Terrell says nobody that has won the Heisman at LSU has had their jersey worn again, but his jersey is different. I wonder why. Yeah, it didn't take long to come up with that.
And here's another thing. The Commanders go from winning the NFC East, or no, they didn't win the East. Wild card, though, and Jayden Daniels' first year, and they make that incredible run to the NFC Championship game, and then he misses all these games, 10 games last year. They fall back there in the basement. If you're a Commanders fan, aren't you wanting your quarterback to worry about more things than his old number at LSU?
I would hope so, yeah. I would hope that was a distant past to him.
And by the way, he wasn't like a lifetime Tiger.
No. Was it just it was 2 years, right?
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
I mean, neither was Burrow.
No.
No, I get that. But again,
Yeah.
Burrow won a championship.
Brendan Fehoko, who played at LSU, I found this tweet to be interesting. So here's a guy that played at LSU.
He tweets a lot.
He does tweet a lot. Oh, you follow him on Twitter?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if I follow him, but I mean,
Did you see a lot of
controversy shit pops up all the time when it comes to him.
Yeah, Brendan Fehoko tweeted this, basically said, the one thing I learned about being in Louisiana, there are two guys that are untouchable, Joe Burrow and Drew Brees. Everybody else is expendable.
That's true.
Yeah.
It really is
Joe
true.
Burrow and Drew Brees, the 2 9s. That's the guys that are gods in Louisiana, and then
Again, I mean, the Breeze thing goes without saying. I mean, the Saints' only championship. But if this happened to Burrow and Burrow wanted to bitch about it, I got no problem with that. But this whole story is stupid.
it really is. Again, this is why you don't retire numbers.
Yeah.
We have said that we have been consistent on this show from the beginning is retire all the jerseys you want. Hang them up there, man. But do not retire numbers. Do a Ring of Honor. Do something. Don't retire numbers. You get yourself in a mess when you retire numbers. I hated it's come to this, but this is a divorce, and I guess Jayden Daniels never intends to go back to Baton Rouge again after this. I mean, you really can't, can you?
No.
I mean, when they honor,
what are you going to honor? The team that
I was about to say when they honor that team, but what are they honoring?
Yeah, the team that was the runner-up in the SEC his junior year.
Yeah. The team that had the Heisman Trophy winner that we can no longer have back.
I mean, they won't. I mean,
It
none
would
of this-
also
none of
involve
this
bringing
matters.
Brian Kelly back potentially.
That's true, yeah. So whatever that team might have accomplished, they'll never get honored for. Man, I hated it's come to that. That is a bad look for Jayden Daniels and kind of sullies LSU as well in the process. But It's the world we live in, I guess. All right, Aaron Murray's going to talk some college football when we return. As we go to break, a reminder about our friends at Hemp Hill Services. They're out at Lance's house occasionally.
Yep, they were out just a couple of weeks ago. Had a friend that they went out and saw last week. Whether you experience, again, never ideal, any plumbing or cooling issues this time of year, home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew. They are awaiting your phone call right now. They will take care of you timely. They're going to make sure that whatever the issue is, they can get it resolved. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for any and all of these issues. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
And Greg from Pell City will climb up on that roof for you and take a look at it and see if it's time for that new roof. It may be. Or he may come down and say, hey, you don't need a new roof. You're just fine. Greg Nelson, 205-542-3531. The name of the company is Storm Restoration Roofing. Now, he does great work there in the storms, and we've had plenty of storms come through. But it's not just storms that get him up on the roof. Sometimes you just need a new roof, or sometimes you think you're close, and he'll come down and let you know. He works with the insurance companies, great as well for you. Greg from Pell City is the guy to go to when it comes time for that roof. 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531. That's his cell number. Reach out to him and let him climb that roof for you so you don't have to. Storm Restoration Roofing, our guy Greg from Pell City. We talk with Aaron Murray next.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
The insurance company called. They offered you a settlement. Sounds good, right? Wrong. They're counting on you not knowing what your case is really worth. They're betting you take pennies on the dollar because you're scared and overwhelmed. Don't fall for it. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys has recovered over $2 billion for going to war with insurance companies that try this every single day. Call 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Free consultation. You pay nothing unless they win.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple-header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
I can't use those yet because I'll lose them.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I thought about this promotion. Do you may throw it out there on the air?
Sure, why not?
So I was seeing
Let's
our buddy.
workshop it.
I went to pick up putter yesterday because I'm playing golf for the second time this year, which is crazy because it's 1,000 degrees. We're going to go out to our friends at Inverness. But I went to the other Inverness golf shop yesterday to pick up my putter from Archer.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey, I've almost got these. I've got these next round balls ordered for you guys." And he was like, "It's going to be great advertising when you lose them in the woods," which is true.
That is true.
But I think we do a promotion throughout the fall where if you find either one of our Dolphins or Rams or next round balls, you take a picture and we do something with that. I think it could be fun.
Yeah, you find a ball in the woods, take a photo, and send it to us.
Yeah, we found this on hole 14 at Hoover Country Club.
That's right. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that you made Bo.
workshop
I like you made Bo the one losing it.
Well, I mean, he's playing out there a lot. Yeah.
All right, let's talk some college football with our friend Aaron Murray. He is with us now from the SEC Network. Welcome in, Aaron. Hope you're doing well today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Excited to get some football talking. We're a few short weeks away. Just booked my my lodging for my first game in Gainesville here in a few weeks, so it's all starting to feel a little real now.
And real quick, I'm sorry, Lance, but we haven't had you on. We want to congratulate you since you moved to that primetime slot. You just talked about booking your lodging. That's got to be very exciting.
Yeah, well, anytime you get to this part of the year, it's great. You know, kids are getting back to school. My kids start next week, so I can start getting some full days of work, which will be great. It's been really fun with them and all their activities. But, it's going to be nice to really start to focus in and really get everything ready to go. And, we were down there in Tampa for SEC Media Days. Obviously, I'm from Tampa, so it was good to bring my kiddos down there with my wife, my parents, and, kind of take them around where Dad grew up, but also just to, be around all the, players and coaches and just start to get the excitement, the storylines, the everyone's going to win a championship kind of feel and all that. So that was kind of the beginning. And then now just, really doing a lot of work, these last few weeks leading into the season, just getting ready for all these SEC teams and just always, overall, college football. Obviously this year's gonna be a lot more focused for me on this conference, but I still try to stay in tune with everything going on from obviously the Big 12, Big 10, ACC. I do a show with Eric McLean over there at the ACC Network. So we try to be as national as possible, but from a commuting standpoint, definitely going to be a little bit easier getting to these SEC schools this year.
Random question, Aaron, but because we started our show with this, numbers are a big deal to a lot of athletes, especially quarterbacks. But I mean, was there ever a time you sat down with Mark Richt? Hey, I'm not coming to Athens unless I get number 11. Like this whole DJ Pickett, now Jayden Daniels campus said, hey, my image likeness, we are done with LSU. We've got this divorce. Like how a number can get to this level and how, a guy like Jayden Daniels, as great as he is on the field, he never won a championship. Like it's just such a weird dynamic.
No, it definitely is. I mean, I don't think it would have deterred me from going to Georgia if I did not get number 11. It was a bonus. I knew that there was a DB that was a rising senior when I committed to Georgia and, he was going to be graduating and Rick said, hey, he's, perfect timing. He's leaving. No one else really wants 11. It's kind of yours if you want it coming in. So the timing just worked out absolutely perfectly for me. But, numbers are great. They mean a lot. I've been number 11 my entire life. Leading up obviously to my time in the NFL where I was 7-12. Look at this, 7-2. Excuse me, 7-2, not 12. With the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles. So, I get the emotional attachment to one's number, especially with the season. But to tarnish the good name that you have there at LSU and to create these issues and this controversy because of that, it's tough, and especially because the number wasn't retired. I got a funny story about that. I have my number at my high school 11 was retired. So there was a kid that reached out to me. This was 2 years ago. And he got into my DMs. He said, "Hey, Mr. Murray, I'm transferring in the plant. I'm a sophomore. Can we unretire your jersey so that I could wear number 11? I've worn it my entire life." And I told the kid, I was like, "Listen, make the varsity team, put up some pretty awesome numbers, and then come back to me and we can have the discussion. Like, I'm not going to just unretire it for anyone." But my number was retired. So
that's fair. That is fair.
Attached to 5, but too much.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. That's a fair approach.
So when did the kid send the DM?
When he was a rising sophomore transfer, never played varsity football.
Okay, so I'm going to assume he never circled back to you.
He never circled back to me.
Okay.
He did not earn the 11, so we're still retired.
Okay.
Well, I mean, at some point, did Georgia make a conscious decision to stop doing it? Because Georgia has 4 retired numbers, and they haven't retired one in a long time. And you all have had, you yourself are the SEC's all-time leading passer. Matt Stafford, Lance's favorite quarterback, had a tremendous career there. Georgia's had some great players.
Stetson. I think Stetson. I've kind of put it out there. I've hit Josh Brooks up about it numerous times. Like, man, when are we going to put a statue of Stetson, in front of the stadium? 2-time national winning quarterback, what he was able to do. And, it's just so hard. With teams like Georgia, even with LSU, there's just so many great players. And I get that the quarterback position is kind of put on a pedestal. And I get that's, the Heisman Trophy turns into more times than not a quarterback award. So we get, in a position to possibly get a number retired or a stadium or statue made in front of the stadium. But, there's so many great players on those Georgia teams that won championships a few years back. But, if we're going to go with the quarterback theme, Stetson, 2-time national winning quarterback, one of the greatest players in Georgia history. I think we had that conversation last time I was on the show. I'm still pushing for him to get a statue out front of the stadium and possibly even retire that number 13 jersey.
Now that you're in this space, how often do you look at schedules when you're trying to figure out, your playoff bracket, who's going to win a national championship? Because Ohio State right now in the AP, they're the number 1 team. And look, Ryan Day doesn't lose regular season games. They've got more skill than anybody out there. But when you start to look at the schedule, Aaron, it is brutal. They got to go to Austin. Iowa City's always a tricky place. Bloomington, the Coliseum to take on USC. They host Oregon. They go to Nebraska. They host Michigan. That is a brutal schedule, and they are number 1 right now preseason.
Yeah, I'm not predicting. When I put my preseason out, it's kind of where I think of you as a football team. How good of a team are you? How good's your roster? How many guys do you have returning? A lot for me, obviously, is who's back at quarterback, and obviously they have a very good quarterback there. But I think Sark made this remark probably multiple times, but obviously at SEC Media Days as well. Of we were 9-3, and if we didn't play that game against Ohio State and we played some scrub team, we probably would have been 10-2, and we would have been in the playoffs. And who knows what could have happened from there. So I wonder if this is a similar situation to where you got to go on the road to Austin. Does Texas win that game week 2? Then all of a sudden you're kind of looking up at Ohio State, a very talented team, but you drop 2 more games, you're 9-3, and you're kind of on the outside looking into the playoffs and trying to make a case of, our schedule was so great and we had to go to Austin, and you named off all the other great teams they got to play this year. There's a lot of people obviously high on Oregon, how talented that team. Luckily they get them at home. USC, that's gonna be a tough game on the road at Indiana. It is a daunting schedule, and it doesn't help that you play one of the best teams in the country at F Conference in Texas. So as a fan, as an announcer, obviously we love these great games, and it's where we are in college football right now, though. And I think that's, I know that there's a lot of traditions that will be missed. The amount of Georgia fans and Tennessee fans that tell you, like, hey, can you believe that Georgia's not going to play Tennessee this year, or Florida's not going to play LSU? And I get that a lot of these games are going to be missed. But when I look at schedules for the majority of teams, and obviously SEC with now a 9-game schedule within the conference, college football and your average Saturday in the fall is significantly better. It is. With the expansion, it is better football, better players, better coaches every single weekend. So as an Ohio State fan, you may say like, oh man, this schedule is crazy. You know, it's going to be tough. But as a fan, you're going to be saying like, we're going to get awesome football week in and week out. And as someone that covers the sport, that's all I can ask for.
The situation in Oxford with the offense, now that Charlie Weiss and Lane Kiffin are going, a defensive coach takes over. It looks like Joe Judge will be the play caller. He's got NFL experience, obviously been an NFL head coach. Is there a part of you that wonders, did we see the best of Trinidad Chambliss because of Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss, or can Joe Judge also get that? Is there part of you that is going to be wait and see if we just saw the best of Trinidad Chambliss already and it was because of the offensive coaching?
You know, I do think we saw probably the best, and if there's an increase in play, I think it would be very, very minor. I mean, the guy was elite last year. I broke his first start down early in the season. I forgot who it was against, but I was kind of going through it saying, what can't this individual do? He can run the RPO world very well. He's got a quick release. He can layer the football down the field. I mean, he was showing touch up and over second level defenders. He can push the ball vertically down the field and go routes as well. And obviously he has elite athleticism. So, if he was 6'1", 6'2", we're talking about the first pick in the NFL draft a year ago. Like, he's got all the traits and he can do, I think, everything you want in multiple offenses. Like, I don't want to just pigeonhole him of like, oh, he can only play in Lane Kiffin's offense. I will say I do believe that Lane is the best offensive mind right now in college football. We see it week in and week out, the matchups he's able to create, the stress that he's able to present to defenses, the wide open individuals that he gets over and over to make life easy for a quarterback. So, is Trinidad going to be a worse quarterback because of Lane? No, that kid's got everything you want to be elite, regardless of who the OC is, regardless of the type of offensive system that he's in. But I just think that the marriage of what his skill set is with Lane Kiffin was really special. And then obviously we witnessed that last year in just their first season working together. So I anticipate Trinidad to still be one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I just don't anticipate a further significant jump from his play than it was a year ago, which honestly, do you really need that? The guy was absolutely nails all season long.
Flip side of that, there's nobody on this show that doesn't like Mike Shula, the person. But Mike Shula has never been known for being a dynamic offensive coach. And it showed last year with South Carolina. And now you bring in Kendall Briles, who at times has been known to be a dynamic offensive coach. That marriage with Norris Sellers, how much do you like that? What could we see different from Sellers this year under Kendall Briles?
Well, you hopefully see a quarterback that can get comfortable in the system. I mean, it's hard when you go through multiple systems as a quarterback, learning, becoming an expert. I think that's everything. We all want to be experts within our offense. And I remember it took me a couple of years with Coach Bobo to be able to get full control of the offense where, I can make all the checks, I can make all the IDs, I can get us into the right position. I think it is easier now than when I played because you have the communication right in the helmet. There was a lot of trust with quarterback and offensive coordinator to quarterback of, hey, I'm going to give you multiple plays, but I'm just giving you the plays. I can't give you reminders. But Kendall can be in his ear saying, hey, here's the play, here's the check. This is what you're going to check it off of. Or here's the play. Remember, if they come out in this front, re-ID the mic to the will linebacker. Those little subtle reminders definitely make being a quarterback in a new system a little bit easier, which I think will be obviously useful for Kendall and Lenoris. But, at the end of the day, Lenoris is very gifted. He's a big kid. He's a great athlete. I think he's a good thrower of the football. I just think that he needs more support around him. 2 years ago, he had a really good tight end. He had Rocket Sanders. He had an elite defense. And, they ended up winning a ton of football games. And I was on the bandwagon of this team should be a playoff team. Obviously, I think they ended up being number 14 in the college football playoff rankings and just missed it. But, it's all come down to the skill players around him. Unless you're Cam Newton, you need really good play around you. And I think last year it didn't really have that. You're hoping this year, with some of those guys that they could be better around him to make his life a little bit easier in the pass game.
With the defenses both Elko and Venables have built, if either one of those programs, A&M or Oklahoma this year, get B+ play out of the quarterback, it could be a special season. Which quarterback do you trust more going into 2026, Marcel Reed or John Mateer?
I'm going to go with John Mateer. I think we've seen really good play, more consistent play out of John Mateer over the life of his, just his entire college football career. I thought Marcel played well for a good majority of the season last year. Obviously, had some really big time moments in some big time games. You obviously go back to that game versus Notre Dame, and the fourth down completion for the touchdown. So, I like the way he played a year ago. What we talked about with him, he's got a new offensive coordinator. That he's got to kind of build that trust and relationship with, where, you're not having to do that at Oklahoma. Last year wasn't a John Mateer problem. Last year for Oklahoma was the guys around John Mateer, lack of a run game, lack of protection, lack of big time consistent playmaking at the receiving position. And I think too, a conversation was had after that injury of, hey, John, let's not play reckless because we have the best defense in college football and we just can't lose the game on offense. And I think John Mateer is the type of guy that you cannot put the handcuffs on him. You have to let him play free. You got to let him go out there if he's healthy and just rip it around Brett Favre mentality a little bit. So I think you're going to get the best of John Mateer. You're obviously hoping they can run the football more consistently without him having to shoulder that burden. But I think he is the better overall player. And I think that they will be better around him this year. So I'm anticipating Oklahoma to be a pretty darn good football team. So I think there's a lot of excitement about that trip. I think week 4 to Athens to see what they can do on the road.
We mentioned that Aaron has moved to the SEC Network primetime game, 6:45 SEC Network, week 1, Florida Atlantic at Florida is where you'll see him. I'm curious, is there, of the 16 stadiums, you played in a lot of them and you've been to others, is there one you have yet to visit? Have you had all 16 yet?
I've never been to Tuscaloosa.
Wow.
I've driven through it to cover other games, on the road, like on my way to Mississippi State or something like that. But I have never been in the town of Tuscaloosa, never been in the stadium. So that's one I'm hoping to get to this year. I think that's that in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I've been to Norman once. I remember as a rising senior, and I went out there to go visit a quarterback coach who was working with a quarterback that was their guy that was getting ready for the NFL draft. So I went out there for spring break to work with him. But yeah, never been in that stadium though. So those are two, Oklahoma and Alabama, that I would love to kind of check off the box. But other than that, I've either played in every stadium in the SEC or announced the game in the other stadiums that I've not played in.
I'm looking at the Bama schedule. I don't think you're going to do it this year. I'm just looking at
no,
all the TV windows they've protected. I'm just looking at a game that you guys would have, and I don't know.
South Carolina, week 4?
Maybe South Carolina. I mean, that's
South Carolina, week 4.
That's protected prime time. Georgia's protected prime time. That's going to be on ABC, though. At Tennessee, Texas A&M could be prime time. LSU could be prime time. And then the Iron
those
Bowl.
are all on the road, though.
That's right,
Their home games are
the home games.
Florida State, ABC.
That's right.
South Carolina. I mean, the one would be, if there would be one, to be South Carolina. Georgia, no. A&M probably no.
Iron Bowl.
And then obviously Auburn probably no. Unless Auburn is just a 4-win team at that point, then maybe there's a possibility.
I like how Aaron made Auburn the team.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm high on Auburn. I think you walk away from SEC Media Days, as I said at the beginning, everyone's, feeling pretty good about themselves. But,
right.
I'm excited for Florida. I think Florida has an opportunity to be a really good team this year. I think, Auburn, I love their head coach. I think Byron Brown's a talented quarterback. I'm not super giddy about his throwing motion at times, but he's a great athlete. And obviously he's got a lot of guys around him that he's very comfortable and familiar with as well. And that's a great defense and a great defensive coordinator on the other side of the football. So, I don't anticipate Auburn to be a 4-win team come the Iron Bowl at the end of the season.
Okay, so I'll throw it out there. You said you're high on Auburn. This is their worst 4-game stretch since World War II that they're currently on. They haven't
season stretch.
Four season stretch. They haven't been above 500 since before 2020. With that said, the win total 6.5. Would you play over 6.5 wins? Because I think 7-5 would definitely be a step in the right direction.
No, I would probably go over with them. Like I said, DJ Durkin back at defense coordinator was huge. I think you got a quarterback that can play at a very, very high level, a guy that can win the game running it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about, 3,000, 1,000 passing and running. And I think you get off to a fast start. You got those first 4 games at home, Baylor, Southern Miss. You got Florida, which, like I said, I think Florida's a good team, but that's a game that at least you get them at home, and then you get Vanderbilt at home. So, can you go 4-0 to start the season and take advantage of maybe some early momentum, being in front of your home fans. And then from there, I think there's definitely winnable games. Samford, Arkansas is at home, at Mississippi State. I mean, that's 7 wins right there. And then can you sneak a win against Tennessee on the road? So, I'm not saying it's an easy schedule by any means, but experienced quarterback, good defensive coordinator, good defense, some good skill. I would take the over that 6.5 for the Auburn Tigers.
All right, he is Aaron Murray. You'll see him on that Atlantic Florida game and on the SEC primetime game all season long. Thank you for the time, Aaron. Always great talking to you.
Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week.
All right, buddy. You too. Take care. Aaron with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline. Show being brought to you in part, and our 40 and 40 team coming up a little bit later by our friends at Hoover Toyota.
Yeah, got the Land Cruiser serviced yesterday. The oil change, tires rotated, everything. Service department just the best out there. Had it taken in yesterday. It was in and out of the shop within an hour. It's part of the red carpet program. They're going to roll it out for you right when they throw you your keys. Again, I have purchased 2 different vehicles over the last couple of years from Hoover Toyota. Have loved the buying experience. If you're looking for quality, you're looking for safety, something that's going to hold its value, that is the definition of the Toyota. Get in, see Scott Peoples and that great staff conveniently located Highway 150. You can always view their inventory and more about that on-site finance department at hoovertoyota.com.
And Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. He is our guy, man. You're looking for some legal assistance, Shunnarah.com. Shunnarah.com, that's the place to go. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. And boy, do they win cases. More than $2 billion recovered by his very talented team. More than 150 attorneys now under his roof. More than 500 dedicated team members with Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. And they've recovered more than $2 billion for their clients. So they work hard for you, and they get great results. You find yourself in legal needs, Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com for Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. I thought he was going to say, Texas hasn't been in the league long, haven't made it to Austin. Yeah, when he said Tuscaloosa, I was shocked.
That was wild.
Yeah, have you not been to Bryant-Denny Stadium? But it's a reminder of how infrequently Alabama and Georgia used to play. They never play enough.
No, I get him as a player not being that, but just being in media over the last few years, because it seems like Georgia and Alabama are playing all the time.
I know, they play all the time now, but wow.
Well, yeah, that was wild. I mean, Lexington.
Yeah, one of the out-of-the-way places, maybe. But boy, I never thought he would say Bryant-Denny Stadium, and then I start looking at the schedule. They're not going to get there this year. I think he's being maybe a little optimistic that South Carolina game being there, but it is at least in potentially the primetime window. Could South Carolina be undefeated in that game, Lance? Could that be 2-4-0? Let me pull up South Carolina's. I got to remember their early schedule.
Yeah, what is their early schedule?
Yeah. They play Kent State, Towson, and Mississippi State all at home.
Well, boy, they should be undefeated.
Yeah. So that's could be 4-0 versus 4-0. And, if Kendall Briles is getting decent play or good play out of his quarterback there, all of a sudden, that's a pretty interesting early season game in Week 4, Bama and South Carolina.
Yeah, I would agree. But that's a game. The must is Shane Bieber's got to be 3-0 going into that game.
He's not 3-0,
and that's a game Kalen DeBoer can't lose.
No. I mean, Kalen DeBoer's got to be 5-0.
Yeah, and South Carolina has played Alabama as tough as anyone over
the last 2 years. They've done everything but win that
right.
game. The furious comeback in Tuscaloosa that came down to a Hail Mary, Alabama knocked away. And then last year, Alabama absolutely pulled one out of the fire. We don't talk enough maybe about that. And you can go positive or negative. The positive was Alabama was able to pull it out of the fire. But if you want to take the negative, boy, if Kalen DeBoer had lost that game at South Carolina, after you had already lost to Florida State the way you lost to Florida State.
Well, coming up, we have the top the top Power 4 coaches, at least the odds on who will be the first fired in the Power 4.
Me saying Kalen DeBoer made you say that. I will again.
He is not on this list.
I will again say, if you see him on any of these lists, you need to go look at the buyout numbers.
Yeah, there's no chance.
He just got a contract extension, and I don't think he belongs on these lists. I always feel like I have to say that because it makes it sound like I say he belongs on the list. I don't.
He improved from year 1 to year 2, and they were a top 10 team last year.
Yeah, I don't think he should be on any hot seat list. But if he is, I say take it with a grain of salt because you got to go look at that buyout. That buyout's going to be expensive for Alabama to write that check. So you're probably not going to write that check. All right, let's do the viewing menu. Lance, tell us about Michelson in a moment. Tyler, what you watching? You said you had something special for us on the viewing menu that everyone will enjoy. I'm not sure you understand the nature of our audience if you say every single person will agree on this.
Well, definitely not everybody.
Okay.
I said I got something cool. But I'll get to that in just a second because the biggest movie of the week is The End of Oak Street. After a mysterious cosmic event uproots Oak Street from suburbia and transports their neighborhood to a location with prehistoric creatures, a family soon discovers that their survival depends on sticking together as they navigate their now unrecognizable surroundings. It stars Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor, and it's got an 83 on Rotten Tomatoes right now and a 6.6 on IMDb.
It looks awful.
It doesn't look great, and plus the AI Dog podcast we had in Trash earlier this week to promote this film has just really turned me off of it, so I may catch it later this weekend. But the film I'm looking forward to, I think it'll be sneaky good. It's a neo-Western crime thriller starring Matthew McConaughey called The Rivals of Mziah King. Deep within the backwoods of rural Oklahoma, charismatic and musically gifted Mziah King herds a bluegrass-playing band of misfits while overseeing the premier honey-making operation in town. When Mziah's estranged foster daughter unexpectedly returns, Mziah leaps at the possibility to renew the connection and create a family business. But the honey game is ruthless, and Mziah's rivals threaten to destroy everything he's built. In addition to Matthew McConaughey, it stars Cole Sprouse and Tony Revolori, who you might recognize as Flash from the Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland. Got a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.7 on IMDb, and it was filmed here.
The other thing about Spider-Man, you mentioned Flash. I did not anticipate the Hulk showing up. Like, I didn't know there would be that many.
Yeah.
I didn't know there would be that crossover like that.
Those were my laugh out loud moments with the Hulk.
What?
Just how he slams people.
Oh, I know.
Like
it's always fun.
Impossible to get up from that.
Yeah, and then he like gets extra big on that one part. Like he's not just Hulk; he's like extra size.
Does that remind you of a former coworker?
His pants just ripped.
But this Matthew McConaughey movie was filmed here a couple years ago. They used the J&J Grocery in Bessemer.
I remember this. Yeah.
The Pell City Steakhouse, the Green Valley neighborhood of Hoover, the Frosty Mug in Jasper, and the former Jeans on the River in Cordova.
Never been to those last two places, but I've eaten at J&J's.
Always heard they had a good burger.
Good burger.
Haven't tried it.
And Pell City Steakhouse. I bet neither one of you have ever eaten at Pell City Steakhouse.
I have not eaten at Pell City Steakhouse.
I've eaten at Pell City Steakhouse.
I bet Adam Stock says.
J&J's is good. I live like 2 minutes from there.
Yeah. They still allow smoking in there?
They do. They are grandfathered in.
Yeah, why would you not?
I know. Yep.
Sometimes you need a place like that where you can smoke inside and you order off of the old Coca-Cola menu that hangs up from the ceiling.
In the shadows of that new hospital that's down there off 459.
Oh, I bet that's helped their business, yeah.
Well, funny thing about that is when Aldot came in and tried, that's become such a staple in the community there, J&J's has. When Aldot came in and was trying to redo the roads around the hospital there, they were going to, I don't know if demolish J&J's, but they were going to do something to the parking lot, there was an outcry.
Oh, I'm
from
sure
the
there
community
was. Yeah.
Don't take our part. In fact, they wound up with even more parking now because of the outcry from the community.
I bet Facebook was popping then. Yes.
But yeah, I think this will be sneaky good, and the first screening of the day is already nearly sold out.
Wow!
So a lot of people are looking forward to this, and I hope it does well. So we get more movies filmed here.
Do you think that's probably the reason it's sold out?
Oh yeah. Matthew McConaughey and it being filmed here.
Yeah,
but I hope it's good. The trailer looks good. On Netflix, you've got the premiere of Season 3 of Tires, the Shane Gillis comedy. He has been just completely taking over stand-up. I believe he broke a Guinness World Record recently for biggest attendance at a stand-up comedy show. But yeah, if you like that show, it's going to keep going.
Yeah, I watched first season. I thought it was an easy watch. I mean, those episodes are like 22 minutes. I think he's extremely entertaining and funny. I think him and his girlfriend broke up over the weekend.
I saw that. Oh. Yeah, she'll do fine.
She's going to be fine.
She'll be all right.
I think he's going to be
he'll
okay.
do fine too. Yeah,
but you know he's either really, really funny, really, really rich,
or
famous,
something else.
or a combination all.
Yes.
When you see them paired up back in the day.
Who is his girlfriend?
Oh, you've never seen her?
I don't think so.
I thought we'd done this on the show
Yeah,
before.
a guy
Maybe
like
you're right.
Shane Gillis does not get a girl like this.
Yeah.
Grace Brassel, the social media strategist.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's quite a way to put an influencer.
That's
isn't
right.
it? A strategist.
She'll do fine on the open market, don't worry.
What Google said. And,
she'll be fine.
She'll be all right.
She'll be fine in free agency.
And then finally, on Max, they've added Insidious to its catalog. And there's a new Insidious movie coming out next week. So I'm going to do what I do best and go through the entire franchise before the new one.
Knock yourself out, friend.
What movie did you see that...
I saw The Invite.
Oh, The Invite. Yeah, that one was good.
I thought it was so well done, done more like a play, basically one room, one apartment, or one house. Where, you've got a couple and Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde invite over the neighbors, or I should say Olivia Wilde invites over the neighbors, Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton. I thought the casting was great. The writing, I didn't realize Will McCormick and Rashida Jones are the ones that wrote the script.
Those names sound familiar. What else have they done?
So Will McCormick was the guy in Will and Grace Forever.
Oh, okay.
And then Rashida Jones is
Quincy's daughter, right?
Quincy's daughter was in, she's been in a ton of things.
In The Office. Yeah.
Okay.
She was also in The Social Network.
Parks
she was
and
one of
Rec
the
too, right?
assistant attorneys.
Yeah. By the way, The Social Reckoning, I saw the trailer on that. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that was on the trailer last night before Spider-Man.
Did you know what was coming in the invite, though?
What the invite actually was?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I kind of, I went in completely blind. I had no idea what this was about. I knew it was about a couple inviting another couple over, but almost immediately I could figure out where this thing was going. But I just thought the dialogue and Seth Rogen's character, his laugh should be banned from every. I like Seth Rogen. It's the freaking worst laugh ever.
It's terrible.
But I'll tell you, man, Rashida Jones and Will McCormick, their screenplay, they gave him the best lines in the movie.
Yep.
Well worth the watch. And I think it's an A24, so it's got that weirdness to it. But I think it's got a 97% right now. But it's very, very good, very entertaining.
Fun story about that. When Seth Rogen was filming his scene with Penelope Cruz, behind the scenes, he just kept saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you."
Did they make sure that he smokes weed in every single movie he's in? It doesn't matter what the genre is.
I think it's in his contract.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure.
And I bet he actually smokes on the set, right?
I think he does in everything except the Super Mario movies. Which, I mean, I guess he could be lighting up in the recording booth when he voices Donkey Kong.
Yeah. I didn't know he voiced Donkey Kong. But.
He did. And that's all I got.
That's the Viewer Media presented by Michelson Laser Vision.
205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the laser procedure in the state of Alabama. I got the procedure done in 2003. If you wear contacts or glasses, you owe it to yourself to make the call just to see if you are a potential candidate. 205-969-8100 to ask for Amy Toa. The next round sent you. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
When we return, Alabama's key weapon, maybe. Auburn's run game. What do we expect from Alex Golesh on the run game? Dabo Swinney, does he make Lance's head explode or not? That's always the question with him. We'll do all that when we return on the next round.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Facing time for a crime, huh? Got a list of charges looming over your head. 5-0 got your back up against the wall. Them alphabet boys trying to sit you down on that rack. Well, have no fear. The People's Defender is here. Attorney J.B. Brown, powered by Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorney. He meticulously investigates every case and challenges evidence. Dedicated to protecting the rights and futures of individuals facing criminal charges. Hit him up now at thepeoplesdefender.com. Thepeoplesdefender.com.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple-header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We continue on the next round, hour number 2 of the show. Thank you for joining us. Dunaway continuing his vacation. He'll be back with us on Monday. He's Lance Taylor. I'm Ryan Brown. We got Tyler, we got Scott, we got Brooks back in the back room, making us look good and sound good. We appreciate you joining us, and please make sure if you're on YouTube to subscribe to our channel and set your alerts so you know when we go live. Those of you on audio download, wherever you are, Apple or Spotify, we highly recommend Spotify. Please set your automatic download so it just downloads every single day, whether you listen to it or not. Make sure it downloads every day. That helps us a ton, and we greatly appreciate you doing all those things. And share us on social media at Next Round Live, if you will, at Next Round Live. All right, Lance. What I think will be, now look, there's a lot of places Alabama can improve on offense. They got to run the ball better. But I think a key weapon for Alabama, if this player can develop and live up to his potential, I think it is massive for Alabama's offense. And I'm not even going to tell you who it is. Yeah, I am. It's Cederian Morgan. Here's Lottie Brooks talking about Cederian Morgan. If this guy can meet his potential, boy, I like what Alabama's got here.
Cederian Morgan, he's a huge receiver. He's got great talent, great ball skills. He can catch the ball better than anybody I've ever seen. I like Cederian Morgan a lot. We all like him, and he's definitely gonna play.
I don't know if Lottie Brooks is just being overzealous with his praise of Cederian Morgan.
He's one of those guys, the get off the bus guys, looks like an NFL receiver already. But I'm going to have to start with the guys that have already been there and the guys that really need to get better and progress, and that's Ryan Coleman Williams, and that's Lottie Brooks himself.
Yeah.
Like, in order for Alabama to get back to having great receivers, you've got to have some of these veterans that actually, show up, and Ryan Williams is going to have to not have the drops this year. Lottie Brooks was really good in spots last year.
Yeah, and I think he's got tremendous potential. I really like him.
I do too. I just don't know if you're ever going to see. I was talking to our buddy Ken West at Walk-Ons yesterday. I was like, can you imagine? Because we were talking about the at least the perception of lack of talent from Georgia when it comes to skill.
I can't believe.
If you guys had A.J. Green, Ladd McConkey, Hines Ward, and Brock Bowers out there, and I was like, what's crazy is Alabama did for a while.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, if not better.
Yeah, I'll never forget Tim Hasselback on one of the ESPN Sunday morning pregame shows when he was talking about Mac Jones' rookie season. And he was like, can we just pause for a second? He was like, he's got Jerry Jeudy, he's got Henry Ruggs, Jalen Waddle, and Devontae Smith at 4 wide here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot to throw to. That's a lot to cover.
And I think there is, we've put the correlation, Scott Cochran leaving, the team getting a little softer. That was maybe part of the equation that was winning championships. But I'll stand by it. The last time we saw Alabama play for one in 2021 in Indianapolis, that season you had Jamison Williams, you had, who else? John Mechie? Those receivers went down, and once they went down,
you were the kid that ended up transferring that everybody thought was going to be so good, and he's never done anything.
Isaiah Bond?
No. Why can I not say his name?
Anyway, Slade Bolden catching the ball.
Yeah, Slade. But who was the guy that everybody thought was going to be such a stud? He eventually transferred. God, why can I? 84 was the number he wore.
Oh, that was the tight end, I think.
No, it was a receiver.
Anyway, with all that said, they haven't had close to top level All-American wide receivers, guys that are going to play in the NFL in a long time.
Yeah. You're right about that.
I mean, Bernard was really, really good, really solid.
And he's in the NFL, and we'll see what he does. But, Jai Hall, thank you very much, Tyler. And Kenneth, I was going to think about that the rest of the day. Jai Hall came in that national championship game and right away looked good and then just never amounted to anything.
But I do think they've got a ton of potential.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. Landmine Believer says that Cederian Morgan is a 5-star top 15 recruit in the country. And this show in the media is just talking about him like he's a 3-star. I've literally said this. Sometimes I wonder what show people are listening to. If this guy lives up to his potential, there are 2 ifs I say, and I've said this no less than 10 times on the show. If this guy lives up to his potential, and if Ryan Coleman Williams gets back to year 1, Alabama's got the best receiving core in the SEC. And I know Cam Coleman and Ryan Wingo are playing at Texas when I say that. I am well aware of it. But if Cederian Morgan lives up to his potential, and if Ryan Coleman Williams is back to year 1, Ryan Williams, and those are 2 massive ifs, and I get that. Alabama's got the best receiving core in the SEC, and I'll stand behind that.
I mean, right now I would put Texas in front of them. I'd put Oklahoma in front of them.
Right now I would, but if my 2 ifs are true, then I think Alabama's in front of both those. I think.
I just wonder on Morgan, if he didn't look like he looked, would we be talking about him at all?
Maybe not. But that is part of the appeal, though. That big-bodied receiver is part of the appeal. So we'll see if he results into what everybody thinks he's going to be. And you could not find much higher praise than you just got right there from one of his teammates, Lottie Brooks.
And I do think a bigger loss is going to be Josh Cuevas. Cuevas was really, really good and was kind of unsung last year in Ty Simpson's development and ultimately having really a breakout season. But, that he just seemed like he was kind of that safety valve for the offense at times last year.
Yeah. Always need that check down. And you had it felt like a good chemistry between he and Ty Simpson, and that's part of it too, is, new quarterback, new tight end, they got to develop that chemistry. 3rd, 5th, and 3rd. That's where the South Florida run game ranked in the American the 3 years that Alex Golesh was there. I don't know what your expectations are out of Auburn's run game. We talk a lot about Byron Brown. He does have the ability to run. Last year in the SEC, in rushing offense, Auburn was 5th at 176 a game. That's really good. Now, they couldn't throw the ball to save their life.
All right.
But they were 5th in running at 176 a game. Imagine that without really any sort of pass attack and 23 touchdowns. So they ran the ball better than most teams in the SEC last year.
Well, I mean, if you want to compare in-state and you have your leading rusher in Jeremiah Cobb coming back, and you've got a dual-threat quarterback in Byron Brown, a guy that could possibly break out and go for close to 1,000 yards on the ground this year. But Alabama goes 3.4 per carry, Auburn 4.7.
Yeah.
Like this is
pretty big difference.
Yeah, what Auburn did last year is exactly where Alabama wants to get.
Yeah.
If Alabama would have had that rushing attack last year,
they would have won the SEC.
Would have won the SEC, and they probably make a deep run, and they're probably not matched up with Indiana until who knows when.
Yeah, maybe the national championship game at that point, the way Alabama would have played with that kind of run game. There, you mentioned Jeremiah Cobb. They've got some talent there, including a Baylor transfer, Bryson Washington. Here's running back coach at Auburn, Larry Porter, on the Baylor transfer and what he brings.
You know, a lot like Jeremiah, right? He's an experienced running back with multiple reps and playing time underneath his belt. And in this world of transfer portal, you much rather have production than potential. He's had a ton of potential. And so that's what he brings to this room. But we got to put him in a position to where we can sell him and get him going.
For Baylor, 65 yards a tote. That's 5 yards per carry for him. 6 touchdowns. I mean, it's pretty. He's right. That's pretty good production from Baylor that he's bringing to Auburn.
Well, you know, I mean, it was a better sophomore year when it comes to him. You know, he had over 1,000 yards his sophomore year. He averaged 6 yards per carry and had 12 touchdowns. The numbers came back to life a little bit, but still was super productive, over 5 yards a carry and almost 800 yards last year.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get anything close to that with what you've already seen with Jeremiah Cobb and the added element of Byron Brown's ability to run the ball, offensive line is your big question, but I think Auburn could. I mean, look, they weren't great in offensive line last year and rushed for 176 a game.
I mean, Crowell, we haven't seen him yet, but what Auburn's got is it's light years above Alabama, at least going into the season with experience.
Yeah, well, the guys you have seen, because as you said, Crowell, a lot is expected of him. We haven't seen yet. A.K. Deere is turning some heads at Alabama, but I would agree with you. Auburn's running back room, Jeremiah Cobb, is the best of the group of the two teams in this state.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bryson Washington ends up being that guy, though.
That he could be Auburn's leading rusher,
it could
you think?
be.
Really?
Yeah. Could be Byron Brown. I think it's one of three. I think it's an interesting prop.
How would you – hang on, I got to pull
I mean, I think Cobb would be your favorite based on where he was last year. Then I don't know. I guess I would go Washington and then Byron Brown. But, I mean, if Washington and Cobb are splitting all these carries and Byron Brown's just getting his own whenever he gets them.
I'm going to pull up his rush log. Over 1,000 rush yards last year.
Yeah.
5.7 a carry, 14 touchdowns. I mean, he went over 100 rush yards in 6 games. That's a lot of times for a quarterback to go over 100 rush yards. 6 games, half the schedule basically, and he didn't play against Old Dominion at the end. So 6 of 11 games last year, he went over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, and some of those games,
yards,
he went 66 against Florida, had 2 touchdowns against Boise on the ground. I mean, some of his games were pretty massive. I mean, 136 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, 8 yards per carry against Davie in a 41-38 loss.
He's only played a full season twice, 2023 and 2025, due to injuries. 809 for the full season in 23, and then 1,008 last year. So when healthy and playing a full season, he's rushed for 800 to 1,000 yards.
And look, I think you're going to get more of what you got last year. I don't think carrying the football is putting him at risk, really. I mean, I know it is, but he is such a big kid. I mean, a lot of people said one of the more surprising things at SEC Media Days was how big Byron Brown was. I mean, he's 6'3", 240 pounds.
Yeah, he looks thick when you watch him play. More college football talk coming up. There'll be plenty of college football talk this coming weekend at Bowling and Bragging, too, one of the great events coming up in Birmingham.
Yeah, Bowling and Bragging, actually a week from Saturday.
Next weekend.
Yes,
my apologies.
It is the first official college tailgate party of the season. Bowling and Bragging coming up. There's pictures. I've been at this event the last, 10, 15 years. It's going to be Saturday, August 22nd from 6 p.m. to 8:30 in Crestline Village, right near the O'Neill Library in Mountain Brook, right down the street. Literally a 9-iron from our friends at Odie's. This annual event benefits critical care transport team at Children's of Alabama. Again, this is coming up Saturday, August 22nd, First college tailgate party of the season. Great food, live music. For more information, visit bowlingandbragging.org. That is bowlingandbragging.org.
And if you want a bank that knows you and is in your community, Central State Bank is the place to go. Central State Bank is a local bank, and right in Central Alabama, 6 locations throughout Central Alabama, Central State Bank. And the reason that is important is the people that are making the decisions that will impact your life. Everything from buying that first car to starting that business. They are people that are in your community making those decisions, not some stuff suit somewhere else. So that is hugely important. They are invested in this community at Central State Bank. 6 locations throughout Central Alabama. Find the one nearest you and start a relationship, not just opening an account at Central State Bank. Here to serve you in your community, member FDIC. All right, Lance is on the record. I'm close to being on the record of picking Clemson over LSU. Lance beat the Brown Bandit to the punch and said, you may take him over LSU. I'll take you one step further. I got him over Miami.
Well, if they beat both, wow.
Wow, look out. All right, after hearing Dabo Swinney, tell me if you think Dabo thinks they can beat both. Is this theater or is this Dabo Swinney being honest about his team yesterday?
Just in the early on field work, has anybody maybe popped out or surprised you in a way, just in terms of their progression from the spring to the summer?
No, everybody's just working. There's a bunch of nobodies. We'll see. We'll see if anybody becomes somebody as we play some games.
I do get tired of the old.
Oh, it's
I do get tired.
Dumb hillbilly. I mean, it is so.
You got him beat Mario.
Ridiculous.
I do get tired of the old.
I got asked this yesterday when I was leaving walk-ons. I was with another Georgia fan that you know, and like as we're pulling out, he gives me a honk, and I roll down the window, and he said, "Hey, one of my buddies that I'd met, he's a big Clemson guy. He wanted me to ask you straight up because he asked me this the other day. If you could only have one as your head coach, Dabo Swinney or Lane Kiffin."
Boy, that's a nightmare for you. You don't like.
He said, "Who is the better coach?" And I said,
Lane
"Honestly,
Kiffin.
it's Lane Kiffin."
Yeah, right now Dabo in his prime was the better coach.
Dabo in that place in that moment in time, was pretty awesome. Obviously, they were at the top of college football.
Yeah,
at least for a year or two.
Daniel said before listening, "It's Dabo, so theater is your answer." This was all theater. Nick says Dabo being Dabo. Tyler says little old Clemson. Huge mistake, says good grief.
Yeah, he is easy to pull against. Easy to pull against.
When Levy breaks says effing cheese ball.
He really is, man. I can't believe Alabama fans wanted this guy as their head coach.
Goose says, I hate talking season because of Dabo. I mean, he's getting killed for it. Play it again, Tyler. Here's Dabo yesterday. It said, little old Clemson. Little old Clemson, just the Roys, the rest of y'all.
Just in the early on field work, has anybody maybe popped out or surprised you in a way, just in terms of their progression from the spring to the summer?
No, everybody's just working. There's a bunch of nobodies. We'll see. We'll see if anybody becomes somebody as we play some games.
So who's cringier, Dabo doing his little old me bit, or Trent Dilfer just
Trent Dilfer
doing whatever?
At least
Dabo's accomplished.
Dabo has a resume.
Yeah, Dabo has won something.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't saying more successful. I was
no,
saying
I know,
cringier.
but Dabo has at least earned the position to do something this cheeseball.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, we don't have to listen to Trent Dilfer sound bites. Can you imagine if Dilfer would have had success, Bill Clark-like success, gotten a big-time job, and had success at a big-time job?
I actually can't imagine it.
Yeah, it is difficult to picture.
I mean, it is.
I don't disagree. But yeah, if he had moved on to an SEC job.
It's like seeing the Browns hoist the Lombardi. Something that will never happen.
Dabo's face where he just kind of does the bottom lip, or just kind of like, nope. So he hadn't even started answering the question yet.
No, we got nobody. We got nobody.
Sticking his bottom lip out.
It is remarkable.
How long will he try to run down the rock or down the hill, touch the rock?
Till he blows a knee or something out.
I mean, it's sad that I pull for that. I don't want him to blow a knee. I just want to tumble.
Yeah, just a nice tumble and roll.
Yeah, just tumble with a slide, maybe a wet.
Those Dockers, he gets up and
just some grass stains.
The Dockers has got a grass stain on one. And
are they pleated? I mean, Dockers.
I'm sure they're pleated.
Dockers.
They're probably 90.
Hey, Corvette guy.
I had a buddy. I was going to read this text. Hang on. I got to pull the text up.
You think Dabo looks like a Corvette guy?
Yes.
I had a buddy.
I don't think he drives a Corvette, but he's got Corvette guy energy.
Yeah.
Do you think Dabo has ever worn a cell phone holster?
I think he probably It probably does, yeah.
So there's a restaurant near me, and one of my neighbors texted me out of the blue last night, says, by the way, there's a really good Corvette guy who frequents this restaurant in the afternoons. You'll know him when you see him. And I said, phone on the belt? He goes, monochrome colors for his attire. I do not think he wears a phone holster. I was like, I don't know if he's a Corvette guy if he don't wear a phone holster.
Yeah, I mean, the phone holster is a big step.
You'll know him when you see him, though, is what he said.
I think the really key sign you need to look for is a T-shirt or a polo tucked into the shorts.
Yeah. Hey,
and cargo shorts, by the way.
And the tube socks are pulled up.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way,
Sensible
I
New
laughed.
Balances on at all times.
I laughed this morning when I saw Joey McGuire doing the ride along with Reese in that Corvette, though. Did you see
I didn't see that, no.
He's in the Corvette, right? Am I right about that? Have y'all seen it?
I have not seen it.
Okay, he's doing the ride along. It'll cycle through one of these two TVs right here. Either TV2 or TV3. You'll see it either in a promo or they'll show a cut from it.
We had a former client when we were working at Jocks. You guys would have loved this. He drove a Mustang, and before he left, we could see out of our studio window, he did the burnout.
Yeah, on request. We were like, do a burnout.
It's just smoke going everywhere.
I mean, looked like you just won a NASCAR race.
My point was, I would love to see Joey McGuire do that with Reese in the Corvette.
That would have been awesome.
Oh, Scott, do you still have Mike Elko, the Corvette guy?
No, Scott didn't. He didn't Photoshop Mike Elko in a Corvette, did he?
Scott, did you say Mike Elko?
No, I said this Corvette guy if he could get behind the wheel. I don't know. I don't think the gut would allow it.
Scott was working on some AI imagery of Mike Elko.
I think I deleted it.
Yeah.
Hang on.
No.
By the way, Scott, you're our resident big baseball fan.
I am. Yes.
I said at a point a couple of years ago, I believe if Paul Skeens stays healthy, he could be the greatest ever. He is obviously struggling this year. If you see him shirtless,
I've seen what you're talking about.
Yeah, like he looks like Elko, and I get that.
No, he doesn't, really?
Major League Baseball players don't have to have these great bodies.
It's an overstatement that he looks like Elko.
But you've got to be in some kind of shape. Like he just seems like, hey, I got my contract. I can go out there and I can just hurl it, and I don't give a shit about my body anymore. And he's walking down the beach with Livy Dunn.
She obviously doesn't care.
No, but I would be a little more, if I'm him, like having to be seen with Livy Dunn, who cares nothing,
Having to be seen.
Having to be seen.
No, I'm just talking about she cares about her image.
No doubt
big
she
time.
does. Yeah.
I'm
and she's in
thinking
super shape.
Lance may have seen a photoshopped image of Skeens.
Oh, I don't think I did.
Scott says he's seen it too.
Somebody did embellish a little bit.
Yeah. But the original?
If you're saying he looks like
Can you
Mike
pull
Elko,
it?
Yeah, I'm grabbing it. Hang on.
Okay.
You pull if you'll pull
this is
Skeens, pull Paul Skeens on beach.
Yeah, this is this is something that has gone viral the last couple of days. And again, I get baited into AI all the time. So
Yeah.
I mean, it could be bullshit, but it looked
Oh,
legitimate.
all right.
And I'm a Paul Skeens fan, but
Right here.
Wow. I mean, look. If he would just tan it a little bit, I think it'd be okay.
I mean, tan meat does look better. Right?
Tan fat better than pasty white fat.
Yeah, but I mean, her body fat is
negative.
Yeah, and
non-existent.
Yes.
And then I mean, he looks like he's 4 months pregnant.
I think you're being a little harsh. Bigger than I would have thought, though. But you said Mike Elko.
Yeah, you guys want to see Mike Elko squeezing into a Corvette?
This can't be. This is going to be amazing. Yes, I do want to see it. Absolutely. I mean, I think that's realistic.
Now, does he pop the driver and passenger, or the driver's side and the back tire there, like getting out?
I love the shirt too.
Grind.
Yeah, it's a meat grinder is what that is, really.
Yeah, he's definitely testing the suspension here.
The sheer size of him. He walked past me on Media Row at SEC Media Days. And
big fella.
How big is the hallway?
Smaller than it should have been, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was like, my God. You see him on TV, and I'm like, yeah, he's got a pretty big belly now. You see him in person, you're like, holy, because he's tall too. Like he has to be 350 plus.
How tall is he?
6'4".
Wow.
Yeah.
Elko 6'4". I know he's that tall.
He needs 2 parachutes if he jumps out of
He's
a
a
plane.
big old boy. All right, Michelson Laser Vision bringing you part of the show here. Michelson Laser Vision. Our friends there, they helped you see better.
Yeah, 205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. After the procedure, only took 12 minutes for both eyes. 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
And the Innisfree countdown to kickoff brings us to 16 days, barely outside 2 weeks until we've got some college football on our TV from Ireland and other great locations, including Jack State, North Dakota State. Big Week 0 matchup. We're 16 days away from that. Your game day home is Innisfree Irish Pub. Whether at Lakeview or on the Strip in Tuscaloosa, you can enjoy Innisfree Irish Pub every single game day. That Irish gold sauce, the dogs, the wings, the burgers, everything, and that ice-cold Bud Light. Your game day location, Innisfree Irish Pub, 16 days to kickoff of college football.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
You know, sometimes injury attorneys get a bad rep, being called ambulance chasers, showing up to the accident scene before the EMTs get there. At Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, this ain't that. We get enough cardio. No need to chase ambulances. Look, if you're injured in any type of accident, don't accept a dime from the insurance company. Hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or AlexWins.law.
Call me, Alabama. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple-header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
We are workshopping a lot of things right now.
We really are. A lot of balls in the old air.
Yeah, but we might have a big programming note coming up tomorrow.
Not yet.
Because I've already got a friend. He's like, I'm not doing anything Friday night but watching you. So there is a chance the Uber is going down. I cannot believe. I'm sure there are people listening that have gotten approved as Uber drivers.
Right.
I cannot believe the pain in the ass process this is.
So do you just want to say what our plan is? Because people need to, it'll.
Our plan
Why
is.
are you saying no?
The entire back room is shaking their head no.
Why? Because Uber might.
Because we don't know that it's happening.
No, I'm saying when it does happen, what the plan is. It may not be tomorrow
Yeah, it might
night.
not be
We're waiting
tomorrow
on Uber to approve.
Yeah.
Is your fear that Uber might find this out and not approve him? There's no way.
Well, there's plenty of fears, but that is one of them.
Okay, I won't say it then.
Anyway,
set your alert so
be
you know when
prepared.
we're live.
It just feels a little bit like counting chickens before they're hatched, you know?
Well, I mean, just set your
Scott, do you
alerts.
agree?
We tend to do that.
Yeah.
By the way, this has been a bracket punishment in itself getting approved.
Just getting approved was punishment enough.
I had to go back to the DMV. I had to do that stupid Zoom call last week in 1,000-degree heat, walking around the car for 30 minutes.
Right.
I wish we had video of the process of you trying to get approved.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it's frustrated Maddie more than anything. He's had to do the majority of it.
If you think Lance has done it all,
This
you're
has
crazy.
turned into a bracket punishment for Maddie. Not
Yes,
you.
there's no doubt. Maddie was like,
really
I didn't even pick any games.
And,
How am I
and,
getting
and
punished?
she's kind of the one that's laid it down. Get this shit done
Yeah.
tomorrow night. So hopefully
We'll
that
see.
will happen.
We'll see. Always set your alerts so you know when we're live, and follow us on social media at Next Round Live. That's what I would say about that. We'll let you know if anything in particular happens there. How cool is it to be an Air Force player? Let's watch this. All right, here is Air Force practice.
Altitude, by the way.
Altitude game. So you're some altitude in this. Just imagine you're an Air Force football player, and here is your practice. Hit it, Tyler. That's awesome.
That's awesome. I'm surprised it even catches their attention, though, you know?
Yeah, it seems like they would hear it all the time. I love reminding everybody what we got. So it's always good just to remind that those things exist, right? Remind the rest of the world that we got that.
But I would think that they would even look up. That's like
I
us
know.
going down 280 and seeing those birds or geese or whatever walking around
But
in
you
their
know,
little packs.
when I was down in Destin, when I was down on 30A, Eglin was flying a lot, and it was pretty constant. And I love it. Like, it is freaking awesome.
Well, have
to
you
me.
ever done the Blue Angels?
Yeah, I've seen the Blue Angels twice.
Yeah. I still
They're
don't
phenomenal.
know how they operate. Like, I mean, the pinpoint just maneuvering and control that they've got over everything. And I've heard that documentary is incredible.
Yeah, I've not seen the documentary. I've seen the Blue Angels twice, and Blue Angels in person. It's pretty dang amazing.
It is very impressive.
And the Pensacola show, which is their home show.
That's where I've seen it.
Yeah, that was really good. That's the first time I ever saw them was the Pensacola show. But yeah, the Blue Angels are absolutely incredible. Highly, highly, highly recommend if you ever get a chance to go see them. All right, let's do our 40 and 40 team today. It is presented by Hoover Toyota, and then we'll unveil an SEC squad.
Hoover Toyota, if you're in the market for new or pre-owned, whether it's a car, SUV, or truck, our friends at Hoover Toyota, they are there for you. They're going to roll out the red carpet program. They've been doing it for 2 decades now. They want to make sure you're a customer for life right there at Hoover Toyota. It starts when they throw the keys to you, the on-site finance department, parts and service, Everything is A+ from our friends at Hoover Toyota. Get in, see Scott, Harold, Kim. Tell them the guys from the Next Round sent you. For more information on that inventory, go online today, hoovertoyota.com.
We move to the top 12 now. These would be potential playoff teams based on your rankings, and this team was in the playoffs last year at number 12. The Boomer Sooners. Oklahoma Sooners check in at number 12.
So they finished 6th in total defense, and I kind of brought this up to Aaron Murray. Like, the defense has just gotten better and better each and every year under Brent Venables. I think the jury is still out on Venables. I don't think Venables would believe that, but I think you would agree with me. If he had another subpar year, then it could go back to him being right on a hot seat. 32-20 going into his 5th year. They were 10-3 last year. The offense has been god-awful. You know, they were 113th 2 years ago. You bring in Ben Arbuckle. You probably overpaid for John Mateer, at least just based on production last year. They went up to 92nd, but they were still 112th in running the football. Pretty amazing where some of the teams in this conference, from Alabama to LSU to Oklahoma, are running the football. But Oklahoma's got to figure that out. I mentioned, I think the receiving room right now, at least on paper, better than what you've got in Tuscaloosa. Satania coming back, Parker Livingstone transferring in from Texas, Trell Harris transferring in from West Virginia. They finally have some weapons, and that defense is going to be lights out again.
Yeah, that's the strength of this team is defense, and it was last year. But they made the playoffs last year. So when you talk about Oklahoma, you naturally say, they don't make the playoffs, it's a disappointment, right? Even with this difficult schedule we'll talk about, but here is their head coach talking about the pressure of what we just talked about. You make the playoffs last year, what's your expectation? Oh, make it again this year.
I mean, I think the circumstances are different, but I don't think the approach should ever change. That's my opinion. The pressure doesn't come from anywhere but internally. That you create for yourself, and I think that should drive you. You know, that pressure is part of your culture. It's a mentality that should be a shared belief system, and so we know the margins are small. If they were small last year, they're smaller than they've ever been. That's the facts. Was there some momentum that was maybe created through the back half of the season, having some success? I think it has driven hunger. I think it has probably our guys they feel like they have, more to have, if you will, and more to prove. Certainly prove to themselves, not to anyone else, what we're capable of when we put it all together. Hey, what we actually said, Coach, was actually true. And the outside, cheers and boos and all of that should not affect us, and we have to be tough-minded, for that to be the case.
I think they're going to be really good. I was on with our friends at VSiN a couple of days ago, and I brought this up yesterday. I was asked, it seems like Georgia, Texas, and then who was number 3 in the SEC, and I went Oklahoma. Schedule's really difficult. Schedule's difficult for most teams in this conference. I think they're going to be favored probably in 9 games. They're going to be dogs week 2 in Ann Arbor, but I think they go in there and dead kick Michigan.
Do you now?
I really do. I think the offense is going to be really, really improved. I could be completely wrong on this because it is hard to say that based on the last 3 years, especially the last 2 years.
They could also be 2-3 through 5 games.
Could be, yeah.
I mean, that's the reality of it. At Michigan, at Georgia, and neutral site against Texas, their 3 toughest opponents. They do not play in Norman.
Yeah, if you're 2-3 by mid-October, you're already out of the college football playoff, even with the schedule. So, they got to figure out a way to win some of these games. I don't think they beat Georgia on the road, but the Texas game is always a coin flip. It seems like going into that game, whoever you feel like is going to win the game doesn't win the game. I think it should be a hell of a matchup this year. You do have other tricky games like at Mississippi State, at Florida, at Missouri to end the season.
Even like your quote-unquote breather games. Like I was just looking between Texas and Ole Miss. You host Kentucky, you're at State, you host South Carolina, you're at Florida. I mean,
all losable.
Yeah, I mean, even your breather games, you're like, I could see an upset there.
Yeah, I mean, the only ones that I for sure would say 100% they're going to win are UTEP, New Mexico, Kentucky at home, South Carolina at home. I don't even feel great about that.
I mean, I don't know that I would put that in for sure.
Yeah. But with all that said, I think they're going 10-2.
Yeah, you have been high on this team all year.
Yeah, and Brent Venables scares me a little bit. I think defensively, airtight.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw that last year. I think it will be the best defense in the SEC this year. And I just think the offense is going to jump from 92nd. Let's just say that, so it jumped 21 spots last year. if it jumped 21 spots and went to 71st in the nation, right there in the middle of the pack, with a top 10 defense, I think they could get back to 10 wins.
What is the point spread in the Michigan game?
I would say Michigan is a 1-point favorite.
Okay.
I will check it right now.
Charlie was asking that. I think that's the game he was asking about.
I would say right now Michigan is a 1-point favorite, but I will tell you week 2, that was such a boring game last year. Michigan is 1.5.
Michigan's favored 1.5, and you say
I think Oklahoma
A,
will
wrong
roll
team
there.
favored. B, ain't even close.
It's going to be a fun quarterback matchup to watch just based on, last year both of these guys didn't live up to the expectation with Bryce Underwood and obviously John Mateer, and they're going to be on a national stage. That is the big noon kick on Fox. Clyde's got a good early game.
He does. Thank God for that. Thank God the SEC's playing a Big Ten team, so they've got something to show. So that's our 40 and 40 today. The Oklahoma Sooners 4 downs coming up in just a bit. We'll have some more of that. Part of the show being brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, UCA, Urology Centers of Alabama, the place to go to take care of your urological health. It is so critically important that urological health, everything from kidney stones to vasectomies, anything in between, Urology Centers of Alabama helps you take care of it. UCA, find a location near you, one of their 16 locations, 205-930-0920. That's 205-930-0920. Or urologycentersalabama.com.
Hey, whether it's the plumbing, heating, cooling, any of those issues arise, home or business, our friends at Hemp Hill Services, they are there to serve you. They're a trusted name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for any and all of these issues. Chad, Adam, Andrew, all the guys there. Call them today. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
I'm incorrect on the 4 downs, including Oklahoma. I forgot today is Tyler's Day, even though he has already told us what the 4 downs are. I forgot that those are yours today. It's a Thursday. No, you didn't do anything. I was teasing that the 4 downs would have some Oklahoma flavor, and I forgot it's your day because it is Thursday. So
there's no sports in there
no
whatsoever.
sports at all. I've already seen them. So we will not have any Oklahoma favor in there. Before we get to Tyler's 4 downs, I think I'm most interested. You gave me 2 betting odds today. I think I'm most interested in the coach's hot seat. Is it that like just like me or just like a talk show host? I want the carnage. I want the train wreck. So the coach's hot seat. So are these actual Vegas odds, right? On the first coach to be fired.
Yeah, first coach to be fired. First Power 4 coach to be fired.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are 4 or 5 that are in single digit small.
I would imagine Bill Belichick comes early on this list.
Bill Belichick is one of the single-digit numbers.
Yeah, he's got to be. And that number has only gotten smaller throughout the offseason. Is Lincoln Riley on a single-digit number?
He is not. But he's not far out.
All right. Who's number 1?
Number 1 is Mike Norvell at 3-1.
Yeah.
Again, the thing that comes up the most with Mike Norvell, and we were talking just a couple of weeks ago to a guy that we know that's a big Florida State fan, the buyout. Like, are they going to be able to actually pull the trigger on it? And have they identified who that next guy would be?
Well, that's what I asked this Florida State fan. He was talking to us at Walk-Ons when we were out there with Folds of Honor, and I was like, I'll ask you the same question I ask Alabama fans who are ready to move on from Kalen DeBoer. All right, you get to move on from him. You're hiring who? And he didn't have a great answer. And Alabama fans, by the way, don't either when I ask them that question. They don't know. They're just ready to move on. Now, Kalen DeBoer and Mike Norvell, Lance, are not in the same category here. Kalen DeBoer has had much more success. When you Google Mike Norvell, the first thing it offers you is Mike Norvell buyout. So that's how much that has been Googled.
And real quick.
And by the way, that is near $50 million.
Mike Norvell, the shortest odds at 3-1. I mean, according to this, the longest odds are at 45-1. And of these roughly 15-plus guys, Kalen DeBoer's not on here.
Yeah, he shouldn't be. Especially with that buyout.
Number 2 is Mike Loxley.
Yeah, I mean, Maryland basically did we're going to try this one more year at the end of last season.
I do think this Maryland offense under Loxley is going to be sneaky good this year. I see the Corvette now.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There's the promo. So we got Reese and Joey McGuire crammed in that vet.
Wow. Malik Washington is another one of these big body quarterbacks. He can move a little bit. He's got a live arm. they're going to pull off an upset or two. So that could save his job.
Okay.
So I don't know if I see that. I mean, I see why he's on this list, and it's so short. Dave Aranda, 5-1. Would be a bad start if he loses to Auburn, but they are an underdog in that game.
Yeah, and a conference where it feels like there's a bunch of teams in this conference, Lance, that could play for the conference championship or finish last. I feel like that's almost the entire conference, save maybe BYU and Texas Tech.
Yeah, based on the fact that Norvell's got the buyout, Loxley's got Malik Washington, Aranda, they seem to have those moments where you don't expect much and they pop up and win 8 or 9 games. I think this next guy is the most likely to get fired. That's Luke Fickle at 6-1.
Yeah. Again, like Loxley, last year Wisconsin basically said, we're going to try this one more time. He opens on primetime Sunday night before Labor Day in Lambeau against Notre Dame, and that could get ugly. That could get really ugly. Like,
you go back to the early Paul Chryst days, you go to the Brett Bielema days. That would have been a fun game. I mean, Wisconsin was tough as nails.
You remember
back in the day.
Wisconsin and LSU played in that one, and Wisconsin actually won. I think that was a Paul Chryst Wisconsin team, if I'm not mistaken. Beat LSU.
I mean, those Wisconsin teams play great defense. They always ran the football,
But
dominant
this could get
offensive
ugly.
lines. Could get ugly. Next is Bill Belichick. I told you single digits, 8-1 to lose his job. Then another one that I think that we all lean this way just based on schedule and circumstances, Shane Beamer, 10-1.
Yep. Again, it's a difficult SEC. Not everybody's going to win, and he doesn't have the luxury of being a first-year coach and going 4-8 or 5-6 or 5-7.
Much like Mike Loxley with Malik Washington, Shane Beamer's got one of those quarterbacks in Lenore Sellers. They'll probably beat somebody they shouldn't. Could ultimately save his job, but then there's a good chance they lose to somebody they shouldn't. Next on the list, I mean, Lincoln Riley is sitting here at 12-1. It's in play.
Yeah.
With this schedule, I think he could get fired at 9-3.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. That'd be 4 years, no playoffs. And the drought just continues at USC.
Lance Leipold is next.
Wow, we're already back around from him being a genius at Kansas to almost being fired at Kansas, huh?
I mean, they've completely fallen off the grid. A lot of that was Jalen Daniels getting injured, never being 100%.
They just updated their stadium, so now you've invested more in the program.
Scott Satterfield, Cincinnati is
that
next.
was a weird hire from the jump to me.
16-1 there. Jeff Lebby. I mean, say what you want, you got to win games. They looked improved in year one, although they didn't do anything. They were 0-4 in the conference.
They're 1-15 in their last 16 conference games. So
they win one last year in conference, and they looked like a better team. But now you got Camario.
Camario Taylor is going to be what a lot of people think is good a quarterback as State has had in quite a while.
Yeah, so there's going to be an expectation for this team to be better, and if they're not, there's a good chance in year 3 he would lose his job. Deion Sanders. Fascinating because of what Deion did for that program.
I know. Put him back on the map. Did you see the report come out that the members of the media that cover Colorado have been told they're welcome at practice, but they cannot report on anything they see there? Can't even have reporter notebooks out, can't video, nothing. You're welcome at practice.
So
but you
why
can't
am I
report
coming to
anything.
practice?
Exactly.
So I don't think Deion would get fired. I think it would be, we've talked about Dabo Swinney and Clemson. Like, this would be a mutual agreement.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be.
He's done too much.
He's
for
done too
Colorado
much for that
football.
program. He's put him back, and they have basically built their entire university advertising campaign around him.
Barry Odom, 25-1. He took a job that
Terrible
is just
Purdue
impossible.
job. Why is Purdue firing somebody?
At least they got a new AD, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Bill O'Brien on here, Boston College, 33-1. A lot of people thought this would go better. It's been bad. Dave Duran at 33-1.
Wow. I mean, some people talk about him being a sneaky ACC champion.
This is where it's weird for Duran because he wins 8 games a year. What is the expectation at NC State? I think he's done a hell of a job there, but nobody gives him any credit. Now there's a little bit of pressure based on schedule and based on C.J. Bailey coming back at quarterback. Greg Schiano is 40-1. I don't know who you're ever going to get at Rutgers.
Yeah, exactly. You got somebody that wants to coach there, you let him coach.
I think for like Purdue, for Odom being on here, Boston College, Schiano, this is the Kirk Cignetti factor.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
If you can win in Indiana, why can you not win at Rutgers? And I'm sure Schiano would say, oh, let me explain to you why. We are $500 million in debt as an athletic program. Indiana is not in debt. Indiana has guys walking to the table with millions of dollars. You give me that, I'll get some kids to come to Piscataway. Now, are we going to win national championship? Maybe not.
Final guy on our list, our buddy Matt Rule at 45.
Yeah, I hate it for Matt, but he's at some point got to produce it.
Got to, yeah. And again, I think the SIG factor plays in here. This is a proud program.
That is the sick factor plays in at a lot of places, but I'm sure these coaches rightfully would say, have you given me the resources Indiana gave Curt Cignetti? I wonder if Nebraska has. I don't know. I know Rutgers hasn't. Like, Rutgers can't say that.
No, not at all.
Kansas, Lance Leopold, I know that they just expanded their stadium. There's no way they've got as much invested in the football roster as Indiana did last year. So that's always going to be the, well, if Indiana can win it, why can't we? Well, give me the resources. Let me see if I can. Like, Texas Tech has probably given Joey McGuire Indiana-level resources. I think it's reasonable, even with the quarterback situation, to expect McGuire to make the college football playoffs this year, or he has underachieved. That's a huge change for Texas Tech. When have they ever been in that situation where you would say you were just in the playoffs last year, and if you don't do it again this year, you have failed?
Oh, they have failed, though.
Yeah, I agree, but they've never been in a situation where you would say that of Texas Tech.
It's wild, but Joey McGuire could easily. It's wild that he could be on this list.
He could be,
but I wouldn't have a problem with it because if they go 10-2 and they miss the college football playoff, I could definitely see Cody Campbell. Like, I don't know what their dynamic is. They might be best friends. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But if it just is a business relationship, with all this money coming in, hey, let's go out and get the elite coach. I brought this up yesterday. Let's pay him $15 or $20 million. I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah, but you don't spend the kind of money Cody Campbell has spent and not get return on your investment. And he got a little return last year. And all he has done now is invested more money and want more return. So at some point, just going to the playoffs will not be enough for Joey McGuire and Texas Tech. Those are actual Vegas odds, and Norvell's got to be the hottest seat in America. Again, $50 million is a pretty big check to write. But if you split that up over 5 years, you could probably digest $10 million a year, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think you could.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a guy that is not performing, and I got to feel like, let me pull their schedule up because I don't think they made our 40 and 40, did they? So I haven't spent much time looking at the Florida State schedule.
Florida State did not make the 40 and 40.
Let's just go worst case. Let's go absolute worst case for them.
Oh, it's bad.
And this is worst case, and this is pretty realistic, Lance. You open with New Mexico State, you're going to win that game. They host SMU Labor Day night.
Yeah, Diego Pavi is not walking through that door. Right?
Yeah, for New Mexico State. But they host SMU Labor Day night. That is a game I think they'll lose. That's not just a losable game. I actually think they'll lose the game.
I mean, they're a short dog at home.
You get a bye after that, and then you're in Tuscaloosa.
So I agree with you. I think it's 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Then you got Central Arkansas, and you play host to Virginia, a team you think is going to be good.
Yeah, so I think all of a sudden you're 0 and 2 in conference,
That's right.
and both home games you've lost. So you're already done.
Yeah.
There's a chance he's fired there.
Yeah. At Louisville and at Miami.
Lose.
I mean, that's your worst case, and then you got a bye week. I mean, that's where you make the move.
Then you host Clemson.
Yep. If you hadn't made a move by then.
I tell you, man, their ACC home schedule, get this. They've got SMU, Virginia, Clemson, NC State. Those are their 4 ACC home games.
Yeah, you've got...
The better team is on the other side of that.
I know. You've got the absolute favorite in Miami, and then you've pretty much got every other team somebody makes a case to be to play in the game. SMU, Louisville, NC State, Clemson. Who am I missing in the ACC? Virginia. Who am I missing in the ACC? I mean, that's almost everybody else that the ACC says, yeah, that's a team that could be in our game.
And at the end of the year, you might have a lame duck situation with Norvell, and Sumrall's team could be getting better and better each week.
I know. Yeah, that's not what you want.
So I would say that I'll give them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think best case they're 5 and 7.
I'm telling you, not the early schedule you want if you're coaching for your job.
No,
that is for sure. All right, that's 2 hours in the books. 1 more to go. We got 4 downs coming up next hour. Some NFL talk with preseason kicking back off and trash. All of that coming up. And one piece of video that a team sent out that had the back room saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing, team?" We'll show you that in the next hour. It is the next round presented by Bud Light.
Dump trucks, delivery vans, tankers, 18-wheelers, 35 types of commercial vehicles share the road with you every day. When one hits you, trust me, the company's lawyers are already moving. You should be too. Over $2 billion recovered. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys are ready to fight for you. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law for your free case evaluation. Don't wait. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys. 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple-header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We go to the lunch hour. Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, bringing you this hour of the show, as always, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 right there in Alabaster. Those great chicken tenders, the amazing sides, those po' boys, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, Megan slinging those drinks on a Thursday behind the bar. Fun atmosphere down there at lunch. Sterling and the crew have just thrown the door open, and they are ready for you at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, champyschicken.com, champyschicken.com. By the way, thank you to Auburn Superfan for reminding me of this. I said something incorrectly in the first hour, so if you go back and watch or listen to the first hour, I am incorrect when I say this. It was not Reuben Foster who had the birthday party for his grandmom that all the coaches had to go to. It was Rashawn Evans. Also a good player, though. Rashawn Evans was a heck of a player. Ended up playing in the NFL for the Titans. Linebacker.
Who had the tattoo?
Reuben Foster.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's the one that had the Auburn tattoo and played at Alabama. So I was combining stories in my head there. So thank you, Auburn Superfan. It was Rashawn Evans who had the grandmom's birthday party. Ended up going to Alabama. I would say the same of Rashaan Evans. I said of Reuben Foster. Probably worth going to his grandmom's birthday party to get him. He's a good player.
Probably.
Reuben Foster definitely would have been.
Yeah. Boy, I'm just glad I don't have to recruit.
Boy, I tell you, right now, like I don't see as much of stuff like that anymore. It's all transactional now.
I imagine it's easier now. It's
in a lot of ways.
It's all about the
you
bag.
don't have to show up to the high school
That's right.
games and like actually scout them out. You just say like, well, can we get somebody to cover the check for this one?
That's right. I mean, I think in a lot of ways it's probably easier now.
Yeah, it's probably, you remember the movie Blue Chips, Ricky Rowe, the tractor, and who got the bag of money? I guess Ricky Rowe got the bag of money too. But okay, $1 million. I want the car. I want my number.
But the other side of that is all it takes is somebody coming in with 1.5 day before signing day, and you've lost. But that happened in normal recruiting too.
Yeah, I mean, we had, and I won't mention the school. It was one of the local schools, but we had a bag man in our building a couple of years ago. It was actually a bag lady. Do you remember that?
I do, yes.
She had to deliver a duffel bag full of cash to a local recruit. When it was down, and she said she pulled up and there were 7 or 8 cars and everybody was bringing bags in. And
imagine that.
I tell you, this would be a good, that would be a good script for a movie though, right? Because you talk about
just
pulling
as
off
a bag man.
Well, just pulling off a heist. Like if you knew a recruit that had all these people coming together at one time.
Oh yeah,
with all that cash showing
and
up.
You take the money.
Yeah,
take the money and run.
Easier knocking off a bank.
Or you fake being a recruit to get everybody in
be
the
hard
same
to fake.
place.
It's gonna be hard to fake.
No,
that.
but you hack
Or
somebody's.
you take the place of a recruit.
You hack somebody's social media. You send DMs to all these coaches. You set up a point place.
This is where we're going to be.
Yeah.
This is where we're going to be.
And then the entire SEC gets robbed in one day.
Yep. Some sketch hotel. They all come.
Yeah, I mean, I think the easiest way to pull it off is you set yourself up as the kid's decision maker. You earn the kid's trust. You tell them I've got this handled. Then you take all the money and run.
Oh, and then the final act could be the recruit coming back for his money.
That's right. He goes to the NFL. He makes all this money, but he does not forget.
Oh, if you would have taken Aaron Hernandez money?
Yeah.
I mean, he's killed for a lot less,
That's
didn't
right. Killed for a lot less of that kind of money. All right, before we get to 4 Downs, Crane U bringing you part of the show today.
Yeah, our friends at Crane U. I told you I had a chance to talk to our man, Scotty Gott, yesterday. Just fantastic people up there. And they want to let you know if you are curious about a new career, maybe you're curious about a career in the crane industry, the first big step is always getting certified, becoming fully compliant. Crane U is here to guide you every single step of the way. Crane U, your all-in-one destination for crane certification. They're going to guide you through every single step of the process, from the comprehensive prep, both in and out of the classroom, to ensure you're fully equipped for even the toughest exams. Then they're going to streamline your experience by administering both the written and hands-on test right here at our facility, so you can get certified with confidence and convenience. Inspections, training, certifications, whatever you need, Crane U's got it handled. One call you make and you are good. Whether you talk to Nicole or Francis, tell them the next round sent you. For more information, craneu.com. That is craneu.com.
And Tyler's 4 Downs, presented by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. You ride the roads of Alabama and see those roadwork projects, whether it's federal or state or municipal, there is a really good chance that our friends, Central Alabama Asphalt, are doing those jobs. They do a ton of them. That may indicate to you they do not have time for your smaller job. That is incorrect. They've got an entire division based on things like a driveway, a parking pad, maybe a parking lot for a smaller church or store, a community center, something like that. They do those all the time, and they do tremendous work. It is the same crews, same quality, same no excuse standards. Central Alabama Asphalt. You can get an estimate for your job, 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
Who's one person that you'd pay never to hear speak again? And this is off of the conversation earlier this week of who in their right mind would pay $500 to go to a Colin Kaepernick speaking engagement.
And we made a list of plenty of other people that...
Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon is annoying. He's cringy. There is nothing likable about Jimmy Fallon.
Did you see the...
I'd pay to muzzle him.
Yeah. Did you see the I think it was Rolling Stone that did the article. They've now got people coming out of the woodworks that have worked for him. They're like, totally different behind the scenes than what you see.
Oh, he's a
What
dick?
a shocker.
Yeah.
The guy who's supposed to be everybody's best friends at all time.
And now it's a lot of anonymous, nobody willing to put their name behind it, but a lot of people
I
off the
can't
record.
believe our Russian war eagle here, he loves him some Jimmy Fallon. Every time we bring up Jimmy Fallon, he gets pissed. He would have gotten pissed today.
I've never.
Oh, he's a big Jimmy Fallon guy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't watch any of those late night shows.
I don't either, but
Yeah.
I see enough social media clips that come over.
I think it's a dead format, and Jimmy Fallon is just the king of cringe in that genre.
Yeah.
Awful.
Second down.
All right, going off of your watching of Spider-Man Brand New Day, what's the most confused you've ever been while watching a movie?
It's been quite a few of these, but Vanilla Sky. I did not like Vanilla Sky at all with Tom Cruise, Cameron Diaz, Kurt Russell. I went in with a high expectation, and I was like, what in the hell am I watching? I know it was a remake, I think like a Spanish movie or something. Cameron Crowe did it. I thought it was god-awful. I never understood it. Memento was a great movie. I didn't really understand it. Matrix visually when it came out, I was like, I really don't know what I just saw. So there's some confusing movies that I've seen in the past, but Vanilla Sky, I knew nothing about it, didn't like it. That would be it for me.
I mean, honestly, I love Inception, but it is a super confusing concept. If you don't follow it,
yeah, I still, when he spins the top at the end, I'm like,
it's a great ending to a movie, though. That is such a fantastic ending to the movie. Yeah, because it's so did it stop or did it not?
I know, but it is a confusing movie.
It is very confusing. Yeah, it's starting to wobble. No. I love Inception. It's a great movie. I was very confused by Toys. Yeah, the Robin Williams movie. I mentioned it the other day. I just didn't know what I was really watching there. I didn't know what the whole purpose of the movie.
I think most people were expecting like a Robin Williams comedy,
and it was not at all. But I don't even really know what it was.
So I never saw it, but I would assume, based on the poster that I saw, because this was like an 80s film with Robin Williams, that he would be a guy that either, much like in the movie Big, remember he was the guy that tried out the toys and told them what toys were going to work. I could see that be the premise of the movie, or he ran like a toy factory. So that wasn't it.
Yeah. I really don't know what it was. It was just super weird.
A high-tech toy factory falls into the hands of an army general who turns the models into killing machines.
Yeah.
The deceased owner's children know what's afoot and, although apparently powerless, have to find a way of bringing down the nightmarish empire that's being constructed under their noses.
Saw it in the theater.
Big laugher.
That's like almost a horror movie.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater, and Jennifer and I were dating at the time, and I do remember in the course of the movie looking at her, I was like, you ready to go? That's how bad it was.
Wow.
I had a very similar...
You wouldn't have walked out of Jurassic Park.
No, I mean, it was better.
I had a very similar experience in high school, like a group of guys and girls. We were all in the same friend group, and we just wanted to go to a movie, and we went to a movie called Surrogates that Bruce Willis was in, and it was awful. It's the only movie we all collectively got up and walked out of the movie halfway through it.
Never even heard of it.
It was terrible. It
Yeah.
was an
I don't know
awful
that
movie.
one.
Yeah, I walked out
For
of
good reason, apparently.
Natural Born Killers, Oliver Stone.
You walked out of that
I
one?
walked out of it.
And
It was
you're
awful.
a big Woody Harrelson fan, too.
Yeah. I mean, I like the whole cast. Tom Sizemore was in it.
Yeah.
Robert
Juliette
Downey
Lewis.
Jr., Juliette Lewis.
Oliver Stone. I mean, some of his stuff, I liked Platoon a lot. I liked Wall Street a lot. I did not like that. I walked out of Raising Cain with John Lithgow, too. That was awful.
And Natural Born Killers was a Tarantino script, right?
It was, yeah. And I think he would have done better if Tarantino would have taken it and run with it.
I do agree with that. For me, it was Mulholland Drive, without a doubt.
I have heard that is the most confusing movie in cinema history.
I couldn't tell
It's a
you
David
what
Lynch
happened.
film,
Yeah, someone gets in a car accident and they have amnesia, and then you're trying to figure out who they are, and then they're also working for like a TV studio, and then the two main lead actresses kiss, and then I don't know what else happens. But
Nobody else does either.
Yeah, apparently not.
Third down.
Today, The House at the End of Oak Street releases. After catching heat for the Generative AI Dog podcast to promote the film. What's the cringiest promotion or cringiest commercial you've ever seen?
This is probably not going to be popular, but the Capital One commercials with Barkley, Samuel Jackson, Spike Lee, Jennifer Garner are terrible. and they play them nonstop during the NCAA tournament. And the take on the Outcast, I'm sorry, Sam Jackson, and seeing them dance around and stuff. I mean, those are god-awful commercials. We love Chuck. I like Samuel Jackson a lot. I heard Jennifer Garner is one of the nicest celebrities in Hollywood. Awful, awful commercials.
There is it's old, and by the sponsor, you're going to know it's old. And I can't swear that I remember it when it actually aired, but it has come back up on social media now. It's an old Folgers commercial.
Yeah.
Have you seen this, Brooks? Where
they're
it's brother and sister,
where there seems to be some sexual tension between the brother and sister.
The brother comes home.
what?
Yes, the brother comes home for Christmas. The sister's already awake. The parents aren't, and it's supposed to be a brother-sister thing. But you watch the commercial, and you're like, that ain't brother and sister. Like, what are we doing here?
Was it stepsister?
No,
we're not going like full.
No, it's
genre.
brother and sister, and it's creepy when you watch it through the lens of these are supposed to be brother and sister.
I've never seen it. You remember the Skittles commercial we sent out?
Oh,
People
yeah,
were like, oh my
that.
God, I cannot believe you guys sent that out.
I do remember that.
Taste the Rainbow?
Yes.
Yeah, the one.
I remember that.
I was gonna say the old Slap Chop commercial. The dude who had the headset on.
Oh yeah.
And
he got in trouble, didn't he?
I think he got arrested for domestic violence.
Forrester, you'll love this one. Do you remember when Fox was promoting American Idol and Rick Carly decided to be? He did a promotional video where he was like one of the contestants going to get through to Hollywood.
Oh,
you talking about? Super
there's
cringe.
a lot of local television has a lot of those.
I don't specifically recall that one, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but just your description of it was bad enough.
Oh.
4th down.
Muppet Treasure Island was re-released this week in theaters. What movie would you remake using the Muppets? And also give me your casting for it. The Odyssey is off limits because I have chosen that one.
Okay, I'll go Boogie Nights.
Okay.
Kermit is Dirk Diggler. Miss Piggy is Roller Girl. John C. Reilly, who I think Chest Rockwell was one of the alter egos. He'll be Fozzie Bear. The two dudes in the balcony would be Jack Horner, played by Burt Reynolds, and the Colonel. I forgot who played the Colonel. But Boogie Nights, Muppet style.
All right.
I thought about The Godfather. Kermit, I think, has got to be Michael Corleone, right? I would say this is a bit of, well, not a niche character, ends up being a really big character. I think Gonzo has got to be Fredo.
That's a good pull.
Yeah, don't you think Gonzo's probably Fredo?
Yeah.
In that one, Miss Piggy, I mean, really the only prominent female.
I mean, Diane Keaton and then Talia Shire, but
yeah, but Diane Keaton.
I think Miss Piggy's personality is a little too big.
Yeah, but Kay's really the only prominent female in there, so I've got to have.
Was there another female Muppet?
There was the chicken, Camilla the chicken.
Yeah. So I think I've got a good start there. Now we just got to play. I got to figure out who plays Tom. I don't know who's going to play Tom.
Now, you bring this up, somebody will probably roll with this in the AI world. I saw current day Game of Thrones with all the characters and what they're doing in current day. It's pretty entertaining. How long do these AI videos take to produce and put together like that?
Depends on...
and how much water does it use?
Depends on how much water the community has. So we don't know.
It uses a lot of water, but as far as like time, it just depends on like what operating system, or rather what processors you got in your computer for graphics. And that's why the cost of graphics cards has gotten insane.
Oh, no. My graphics card didn't go up.
Yeah, tell us about the Odyssey.
Yeah, for my Odyssey cast, obviously, you got Kermit the Frog as Odysseus. Fozzie Bear, I believe the character's name was Eurylacus, but the main guy on Kermit's crew, Sam Eagle, also joining the crew. The Cyclops, Polyphemus, played by Sweetums. Let's see, the Bard, Travis Scott's role. I'm going to give that to Dr. Teeth.
Boy, I would have to pull these Muppets.
Really, man. You are
deep dive on these Muppets.
Cut.
Cersei, that turns the whole crew into pigs. I'm going to have that be Swedish Chef, because I think that'd be funny. He's just like turning everybody into pigs. And going, and then, since every Muppets movie has one or two human characters, for Telemachus and Athena, we're just going to keep that as Tom Holland and Zendaya.
Okay. Oh, there you go. You do have to have some humans, yeah. That is Tyler's Four Downs, as always, presented by Central Alabama Asphalt. We got NFL. Thank you, Tyler. Very well done, by the way. We've got NFL preseason tonight. We'll talk about some of those games and get a thought on the teams involved. I forgot to mention earlier when we talked about Hemp Hill, LancesLock.com. You'll have some of those up tonight, won't you?
I've got 3 NFL preseason games up and available right now. More Major League Baseball. We're 1-0 in the preseason. Jump on board. Win with us at LancesLock.com. Free play again every single day. 3 NFL preseason winners up and available for this Thursday night. Jump on board. It is all brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience any plumbing, heating, or cooling issues, home or business, our friends at Hemp Hill, they're there to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
And Way to Wellness, the organization that got us a skinnier Jim Dunaway, and they can get a skinnier you as well. But not just losing weight, getting your numbers back in shape where they should be. That's what Way to Wellness does. aplanforme.com. aplanforme.com is the website. The reason that's the website is it's not some cookie-cutter plan that they think is going to work for everyone. It's a plan that's specifically designed for you and for your needs. Let Leslie and her board-certified staff give you an evaluation and find the plan that works best for you. aplanforme.com is the website for Way to Wellness, aplanforme.com. Let's start at Lions at Bengals tonight in Cincinnati, where Cincinnati's about a touchdown favorite in this one. Storyline from these two teams that jumps out at you, Lions and Bengals.
Well, Zach Taylor said the starters are going to play. So Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, they're going to be out there. On the other side, Jared Goff's not going to play. Dan Campbell has said that you're going to go with Josh Dobbs, Luke Altmaier, rookie quarterback.
From Illinois.
We'll get a lot of snaps tonight. So, something to look at. How long will Burrow and those guys be on? Probably just a series, maybe 2. But that is interesting. And one of the reasons Cincinnati is a healthy 7-point favorite in a preseason game.
This time last year, I remember when they said they were going to play Burrow, and the whole preseason we're like, oh, my God, you're rolling the dice. Burrow played the whole preseason last year. They were rolling the dice, but he played the whole preseason and was okay. So
I will never forget, we were doing a show together, and Sam Bradford in a preseason game, non-contact against the Cleveland Browns, tears an ACL, done for the season. You lose a quarterback in a preseason game, you are absolutely, just jinxed.
Yep. 6 o'clock tonight as well, Central Time. NFL Network showing the Packers at the Steelers. Interesting quarterback storyline there if both guys are playing. Aaron Rodgers' old team, the Packers, and his current team, the Steelers.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur has said that Jordan Love more than likely will get to play tonight. He said at any point he could backtrack on that. We've heard Aaron Rodgers throughout his career, preseason football means nothing.
That's
the
right.
42-year-old will not play tonight. I think Mike McCarthy would like him to take some snaps, but I don't think he's going to play. I think you'll see a lot of Will Howard tonight for Pittsburgh.
Green Bay, a 3-point favorite in that game on the road, indicative of the way the Steelers are going to approach that at quarterback. Colts are at the Patriots tonight at 6:30, Gillette Stadium. Indianapolis, a 2.5-point road favorite, which there again tells you probably what New England's going to do at quarterback.
Yeah, New England, Tommy DeVito will probably get the majority of the snaps tonight. For Indianapolis, Daniel Jones working his way back after that 8-2 start, tears the ACL, out for the rest of the year. Anthony Richardson, I think, is probably auditioning for another team at this point. The 4th overall selection, 5, 6, 7 years ago? It just hasn't really worked out. But I assume you're going to see Anthony Richardson for a half. Second half, you'll see Riley Leonard.
Alabama native Riley Leonard, the former Notre Dame quarterback. You can stream this game on ESPN at 7 o'clock Central. Cardinals at the Raiders. We've already seen the Cardinals play one time. They lost the game, but Carson Beck looked the part. I wonder how much we'll see from him tonight.
I think we're going to see a lot of Carson Beck. You got 2 rookie head coaches, LaFleur going against Kubiak. You got 2 rookie quarterbacks. I fully expect Mendoza to get the start tonight. So I think it will be Mendoza against Beck, and that should be a lot of fun. That's ESPN, 7 o'clock tonight with Vegas. A slight home favorite at minus 2.5.
2.5 right now. Vegas is favored. It will be interesting to see if Carson Beck could do it in back-to-back starts. If so, you've got a legitimate quarterback battle there?
I think you do. And talking to a Georgia fan yesterday, he fully believes that Carson Beck's going to be the guy. And if you're Arizona...
Well, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, if you're Mike LaFleur and you're first-year head coach and... Carson Beck was a hell of a college quarterback.
At least see what you got in the guy, right?
Yeah. Why not?
7 o'clock tonight, Chargers are at the Texans. The Chargers are road favorite 1.5 at the Texans.
I don't think you will see Justin Herbert tonight. On the other side is a big of an enigma right now. C.J. Stroud going into the season, because I think everybody believes Houston winning 12 games, winning the South last year, or actually runner-up in the South, but going to the playoffs, had every opportunity to go deep with that defense, but C.J. Stroud continued to turn the football over. I think we're going to see a lot of Davis Mills. Davis Mills in 3 starts last year, 3-0, by the way.
Wow, how about that? And then the late game, 8 o'clock. Now, again, I brought this up yesterday. The announced start time, 6 o'clock NFL Network for Packers-Steelers, and 8 o'clock for Titans-49ers, tells me you're not going to see the end of the Packers-Steelers. I don't know if that matters to you. But Titans are at the 49ers. Tennessee, a 6.5 point road favorite in San Francisco at 8 o'clock on the NFL Network. We'll see some Cam Ward if that's the point.
Yeah, look, Cam Ward started all 3 preseason games last year. Robert Saleh taking over the organization. I think you'll see the same. I think they're going to try to identify, or at least get that rapport between Cornell Tate, a true weapon now, and Cam Ward. So I think you'll see maybe a quarter of football from Cam Ward. On the other side, I think San Francisco is scared to death of injuries. Yeah. They pile up every single year. And
well, they're practicing next to a big power station.
And when you look at this number, the games being played in Levi Stadium, it looks like Kyle Shanahan's not going to play any starters. He's not going to risk it.
6-point road favorite. I mean, that's a big number in the NFL, even in preseason.
Yeah, it's a big number in the preseason for a home team, much less a road team.
Yeah. Daniel says Beck versus Mendoza sounds like a Week 18 game as well, with Arizona playing the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, see, whoever loses that game gets the number 1 overall pick, and at that point, maybe neither team needs quarterback.
Yeah, maybe so. You're absolutely right about that. So that's all tonight. NFL Network has those games live. But, if you want to see one of those games, they replay throughout the week on the NFL Network. Lance has got, as he mentioned, 3 of them up at lanceslock.com. So we got some live tackle football coming back on TV tonight starting at 6 o'clock Central Time. As we go to break, a reminder, NASCAR coming back as well to the Talladega Super Speedway, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DAGA to get your tickets to see the Yellowwood 500 weekend on the NASCAR Series. It starts Friday, October 23rd with the Truck Series race. Saturday, you've got the Progress Group 250 on the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and then it all caps off at 1 o'clock Central Time, Sunday, October 25th, with the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega Superspeedway. Get your tickets now, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, or by calling 877-GO-TO-DAGA, and you can get your tickets now for the infield, for the camping area, for the garage experience, the most immersive in NASCAR, and, of course, your seats in the grandstand for all the great racing at the Talladega Superspeedway. 877-GO-TO-DAGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
When a motorcycle accident turns your world upside down, who's going to look out for your family while you're healing? Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys is here for you, fighting for injured riders and getting families the compensation they deserve. The consultation is free. They don't get paid until you do. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law. Don't wait. Call 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple-header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. All right, I failed to get to this in the last segment in our NFL talk there. But there was a piece of video that was sent out from the official team account, and the team is the Philadelphia Eagles. They had the back room questioning, what are you doing, Philadelphia Eagles? Now, Lance, you're going to see the video here, and you tell me if you have an issue with the Eagles sending this out. Okay. Here it is. Jalen Hurts drops back. Hurts throws in slow motion. This is going to be a touchdown. Nope, it's going to be an interception. Now watch the guy punt the ball, too. I love that. But the back room...
Is that 15 in real time?
Yeah, it's a 15-yard penalty. I love it punting it, though. But the back room is like, what are you doing here? You're sending out video of your quarterback throwing an interception. Like, do you have an issue with this?
Well, I think it was more, Quinyon Mitchell. Like, that's...
Making the play? Yeah. That's what I pointed out to Scott.
That's more. I mean, look, it's eagle on eagle crime.
Yeah.
You're just giving more of and maybe this is more of, a shot internally to Hurts. Let's not turn it over.
Let me get Scott's microphone.
But also Quinyon Mitchell, one of the better cornerbacks out there.
Yeah.
Like, give him a little love as well.
That's what I said. So what I said to you, Scott, I was like, well, yeah, your quarterback is making or corner, your defensive back is making a great play. And you said what?
I just think it's odd. Because so I'm going to throw this back to Alabama's A-Day.
Okay.
This is going to be video. There were, I believe, 2 interceptions thrown at Alabama's A-Day.
And I remember us trying to break down video to see who threw the 2 interceptions.
That's my point.
Yeah.
You can't
didn't
tell.
Know. That's right.
But that's their quarterback throwing those interceptions. You have no idea, unless you were in the stadium.
That's right.
Since it wasn't televised or anything.
Yeah,
you have no idea who threw these passes.
I think the only thing they really care about is their fans, and I think their fans know exactly what they're talking about. I mean, I see y'all's point. Now, this would be totally different. Like, I'll bring it back to my Rams. You know, they just did a joint practice with the Cowboys, and Stafford threw multiple interceptions. And if the Rams are posting that with the Cowboys picking him off,
yeah, that's a whole different situation.
That's wild.
Yeah, that would make zero sense.
But, I mean,
this is at least your player making a good play. You're your same team.
Well,
but Hurts can't get love from anybody.
He cannot get it.
That's the point I was going to make was, you know, sure, great. I understand wanting to promote one of your players, one of your, starting cornerbacks or whatever, but the quarterback is the face of your team. He is the identity of, I mean, when you think Eagles, you think Jalen Hurts first, in my opinion, maybe Saquon Barkley, but you think of your starting quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, you want to protect the image of your team as much as you can as a social media person and admin. And I think putting a post out showing your starting quarterback throwing an interception is never a great idea.
Okay. So says the back room of social media. Y'all put shit out on us when we dick up and we look like complete idiots all the time, right?
That's most of the show, though. So they got to put something out.
Yeah, that's supposed to be more like tongue-in-cheek, endearing, that type stuff. It's fun and fun nature. I mean,
maybe it was fun nature. Maybe, maybe
Jalen, I'm sure Jalen said, put that on mine.
Put out me throwing a
in the
horrible
interest
interception.
of authenticity, please put out that video of me throwing picks.
That's right. I want people to know.
Maybe he lost a bet. Hey, if you throw a pick in this scrimmage, we're going to put your ass out there. We're going to blow it up.
Yeah. It did look interesting. I didn't at first. But when Scott pointed it out, I'm like, you're right. You don't see many quarterbacks throwing interceptions on the team account.
You don't. But again, they are applauding their other guy. Yeah. I mean, I see both sides of it.
And I did see the Browns put out one last week of Shunnarah Sanders throwing an interception.
Yeah. I love Courtney.
Now, maybe it was just because of the punt from Mitchell.
The best part of it is him punting the ball. There's no telling how far that was.
Like if it was a one-handed pick, who was the one-handed grab we saw? Was it Cam
Coleman? Yeah.
Yeah, like if you saw that kind of pick, you could understand why they would want to post it. I mean, that's not really that difficult of a play he made there.
It is the punt. It's funny. All right, when it came time, Lance, for that new deck on the back of your house, you went to our friend Mike.
Well, Michael Battle. They completed the project a few weeks ago and absolutely loving the new deck space. It was time for me to make a move. I really didn't know who to go to. I am glad I found Mike Construction, LLC. Premium deck and outdoor living. So not just the decks, also they can get you that classic backyard, the custom outdoor entertainment space. They will build with craftsmanship, quality, and attention to every single detail. Imagine a beautiful covered deck, warm fireplace, outdoor kitchen, elegant lighting, and that big screen TV for game day this fall. Every project designed with your vision in mind, built to stand the test of time, because they know you're not just investing in your home, you're investing in your lifestyle. Mike, 205-746-9901. That is 205-746-9901. He will come out, give you an absolutely free consultation. Mike Construction LLC. They don't just build decks. It's where they build life happens.
The College Football Spotlight
is presented by Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorney, Shunnarah.com. Shunnarah.com will tell you something Alex is doing that's going to be fun in just a few moments. Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys, though, take care of you no matter what you face. Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys. Legally, they take care of you. I've got the wrong cut sheet, Tyler. It's on me. I want the one on Steve Sarkisian on his message to his team. Alexander Shunnarah, they've got more than 150 attorneys and more than 500 dedicated team members based right here in Birmingham. Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys, Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys. Somehow, I got yesterday's cut sheet mixed in. I don't know where today's went. Oh, here it is.
Cut 6 is the one you're looking for.
We're going to be on cut 6 here, Tyler. Yeah. And then after that, cut number 5. So I gave you the wrong numbers in the break. Cut 6 and cut 5. All right, here's Steve Sarkisian. The Associated Press poll, Brett McMurphy released his ballot today and reminded everyone we're 96 hours away from the release. I don't know if we need to count it down by hour, but we're 96 hours away on Monday's release of the Associated Press poll. There's a chance Texas is number 1 in that poll.
There is. And I would also say this. There is a chance if Texas was to miss the college football playoff in back-to-back years with this roster, this would be the biggest disappointment in college football in 2026.
I would tend to agree with you on that one. Absolutely.
Because, I mean, if you go through all the other top 10 teams, Ohio State was there, Oregon was there, Georgia was there, Notre Dame wasn't there, but they were there just, 2 years ago. And I guess Notre Dame would be right there with it maybe. Indiana, Miami, A&M, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, all those top 10 teams were there with, some of those teams less talent than Texas has obviously got this year.
And with all of that on the line for Texas, Sark is aware of all that, and so are his players. What's his message to his team with all those expectations?
Well, I think that was really my message to the team last night, and was the outside noise is just that, focusing on what we need to do, prove us right, rather than trying to prove other people wrong or right outside the building, prove us right inside of our building. And I think the vets get it. And now it's trying to teach some of the younger guys to not read your articles, and focus on what their position coach is saying in their meeting room and how they can get better.
I mean, I kind of like that saying, let's prove us right, not try to prove other people wrong. Like, don't be fueled by what people say about you. You just go and be your best you. I know this sounds like coach speak when I say it out loud.
Yeah, us versus us.
No, it's far from that. You go be your best you, and we'll be fine. If you play to your potential and do what you're supposed to do, it doesn't matter what anyone outside the building says.
I think more importantly, I think it's going to be Sark, calls an awesome game. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And he plays to his quarterback strengths. And if Arch can play the way he played the second half of the season, he's got to be immediate, though. Even, no dicking around with the Bobcats. Week 1, Texas State, go in, put up the big numbers in the first half, get out of there up 35 or whatever. Against Ohio State, week 2, all the pressure is on Texas. Ohio State won this game, dominating defensively last year. Texas is going to be a small, short favorite against the Buckeyes. But he needs to come out and play well against a dominant defense. And if Arch Manning can come out and play at an elite level, Texas will have no problems this year.
If I told you a team last year in the Southeastern Conference ran for 182 yards a game and scored 31 touchdowns on the ground, would you say that's good?
I would say that's really good.
It was 4th in the conference in terms of yards per game. I agree, but their head coach is still emphasizing it. Here's Kirby Smart on what he's emphasizing in fall camp.
Yeah, Coach, last offseason it seemed there was a point of emphasis on being able to run the football and stop the run. What might be the point of emphasis for you guys going into this year?
Yeah, you can't get away from that point of emphasis. That's not going to change ever in our program. I would say we were coming off a year that we were subpar at that when we really tried to drive that home. We're not going to ever get away from that. I mean, we have to be able to run the football. Show me a good team that wins championships that can't run the football. Just doesn't happen. I mean, just doesn't happen. You look at the national champions the last 5-6 years, they're effective running the football, and they're effective stopping the run. It's one of the leading statistics over the last 10-15 years in national championship teams. They've had really good run defenses. So you better be able to run the ball and stop the run. But there's not one particular thing we're harping on. I mean, we got to generate more turnovers. We got to generate more havoc. We got to be more explosive on offense. I could sit here till we're blue in the face, but it's not one thing that we can say.
Run and stop the run. That's old school.
You do love that. As boring as some people think Mike Bobo's offense can be at times, the thing, they consistently run the football. They play great defense. Can you go back? They were 4th in the conference last year because I brought up these 3 teams. I mean, all 3 of these teams have the expectation to win a national championship. That's Alabama, that's LSU, that's Oklahoma. They were all pathetic at running the football. Where were they last year?
Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma?
Yep.
Oklahoma 13th, Alabama 15th, LSU 16th.
Yeah.
Only 16 teams in the conference.
Again, really, really good teams.
Yep.
All have really good coaches right now. They've got a ton of talent. They've got all the resources, but those 3 teams can't run the football.
Nope. Your top teams, Missouri, $228 a game. Now they had Ahmad Henry,
Ahmad Hardy,
excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, and
tremendous.
And what's he going to look like coming back from the gunshot?
We don't know. Arkansas was number 2. That might surprise some people that Arkansas was that high. Yeah, Taylor Green did a lot for you. A&M number 3. You got a lot out of Reed, but they also ran the ball traditionally. And then Georgia 4. And I mentioned it early in the show. Auburn was 5th. They couldn't throw the ball. They were very one-dimensional, but they were 5th running it.
Yeah, I agree with Kirby. I mean, that's one of the things. Everybody talked about Mendoza last year, but you look at him being black, those guys ran the football.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be able to run the football to have an effective, balanced offense. You just have to.
Yep, 100% you do. I mean, that's old school run and stop the run. I've heard it for 100 years.
It'll never change.
But it is never going to change as long as guys like Kirby Smart are coaching and guys like you mentioned Hemby and Black playing for Kurt Signetti. As long as guys like that are coaching, that's what it's going to be.
And at the highest level, your Super Bowl MVP was Kenneth Walker. You go back, Ryan Grubb, they couldn't run the football in Seattle. He gets bounced. He's now in Tuscaloosa. Then Clint Kubiak comes in. They run the football, basically against everybody
That's right.
at will at times.
And then what happened?
And they win a championship.
Yep, won the Super Bowl. So that's a look around camp and the Shunnarah Spotlight. Speaking of Shunnarah, before we get to trash, we've been asked a lot in the chat. We're happy we got it finally nailed down. There were just a couple pieces we were trying to put into place. One more piece that we'll announce later on, but we have got a date for our annual kickoff party.
Yeah, and this is going to be special because it's going to be our 5th year, but our 6th party.
Yeah, we had a party before we ever did a show, actually.
So 2 weeks from tonight, we will be back at Walk-Ons, Tattersall Park, 5 o'clock until. We're going to have some incredible giveaways from our man, Alexander Shunnarah. He's going to be on site with us. We've got more Pappy he's going to be giving out.
I think he's got 2 Pappies. I think a 10 and a 12, if
10
I'm not
and a
mistaken.
12.
Yeah.
We will be giving those away. We're going to have gift cards from Walk-Ons. We'll have cash gift cards that we're going to be giving away. A lot of different things going on at Walk-Ons. More announcements coming up, bigger and better this year. It's going to be a ton of fun, though. So mark it on your calendars. Tattersall Park, that location. We were there last year. I think we've been there 3 of the 5 years. Come out, see us. 2 weeks from tonight, August 27th, 5 o'clock until.
Yep, the 27th. Write it down. We'll start at 5. We'll hang with you as long as we are, as long as you're willing to hang. The 27th. So mark that down.
Do we have games that night? Last year we saw Boise State get upset by South Florida.
I don't think we've got a
no, we
game
don't.
on the 27th.
Nope.
Well, we probably got some NFL preseason that'll be on.
Yeah.
I mean, there will be some NFL preseason. We'll have games
I
on.
actually don't like having the games on because
I don't
we're
either.
talking
I
to
want to
so
watch
many
the
people.
games. Yeah.
I didn't really get to watch a ton of that last year.
Yeah, that Boise State South Florida game's like it never happened in my life. I didn't get to see much of that one because you guys are always so faithful about showing up, and we appreciate that. All right, that gets us to trash. Hit it, if you will, Tyler.
Sandra, how far has this family come?
We came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. I see a Bud Light in my future in the next hour.
On the old golf course?
Well, I mean, it's going to be.
Gonna have a cold one?
Bo told me the heat index is going to be 114.
So
You got to
be a little thick.
Got to stay hydrated.
Yeah. I don't know if 114 feels like an over-exaggeration.
I saw a heat index of 107.
107, that's heavy.
Don't think the Bud Light will hydrate you.
I'll tell you what I made the mistake of not doing when we played last week that I made sure I did today. Nut dust.
Oh, you dusted up?
The old AC for the nuts.
That away.
We start first, Chick-fil-A, bringing chicken and waffles to restaurants nationwide with an all-day sandwich and 2 new s'mores-inspired drinks. Fast food chain announced its fall menu August 12th, confirming that the limited-time lineup will arrive nationwide on August 24th. Now, customers will be able to order the chicken and waffle sandwich throughout the day, although Chick-fil-A is offering different versions during its breakfast and regular menu items. Or hours, I should say. During breakfast hours, which typically run until 10:30 a.m., and boy, they have a hard cutoff at 10:30. Customers will receive...
They flip that board at 10:30, don't they?
Man.
Yeah.
Will receive a smaller chicken fillet and waffle. A full-size version with a larger fillet and waffle will replace it from 10:30 a.m. until closing. Now, both sandwiches feature the maple-flavored waffles, 3 strips of applewood smoked bacon, honey-buttered spread, and a side of syrup.
Well, it looks good. I like chicken and waffles. I like the boneless chicken fillet and waffles. Like, I think your traditional chicken and waffle is on-bone chicken, and it's just a lot.
Well, the thing...
I like to be able to cut it.
You got to pull it off the bone,
right,
and then you got to cut up the... Yeah, this is going to be easy access to this. The launch is also accompanied by, I mentioned s'mores, the s'mores milkshake, and s'mores frosted coffee. You talk about chicken and waffles traditionally being a pain in the ass. The s'more is traditionally a pain in the ass.
It really is. Very. There's an easier way to make it.
And I'm sorry, Chick-fil-A will never do a better milkshake than the peach milkshake.
The peach is the best.
The peach is great.
It is their go.
It's incredible.
Yep.
They have a peach frosted lemonade now.
I've not tried that.
Delicious.
I do like that frosted lemonade though.
Yeah, Jack Taylor's a big fan of the frosted lemonade, and I just discovered it a few weeks ago, first time.
I'm with Nick. I think I'd sub in the spicy filet. And I think now you got something.
With the peach
waffle.
milkshake.
Yeah, with the waffle and the spicy filet.
You ever ordered one of their milkshakes for breakfast? I've done the
I have not done that. I didn't know they would do it either.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Sure will. Bus that a Brazilian football team usually uses was stopped during a trip to Bolivia and found to have more than 80 kilograms of marijuana on board.
Oof.
Now, as the
Sounds like a lot.
final days of preseason play across the globe for many football teams, those final friendlies and training training camps are crucial. However, this round of 16 tie against Bolivian side Bolivar has been marred by an attempt to smuggle drugs around the country. Now, in a report, it is stated that the bus, which bears the club's colors and logo, did not actually have any of the players on board at the time.
As it turns out.
However, they were scheduled to be on the bus later that day. After being stopped in central Bolivia, police found 65 rectangular packages and shopping bags containing a suspicious green substance. If you're ever in South America or Mexico and you're asked, hey, can you take this package?
Your answer is no.
A couple of blocks away?
Yeah. Your answer is no. Well, I tell you, international soccer is wild. I mean, it is wild. Stories like this, it's just a wild sport.
I'm surprised this is weed, though.
Yeah, I think it'd be a little bit heavier.
It seems like it would be,
some heavier drugs.
A little meth, a little cocaine.
Opium.
A man in Arizona has been arrested after allegedly stealing thousands of dollars from a Shake Shack that he worked at, returning a few days later as if nothing happened. Now, as per NBC 15 in Arizona, 33-year-old Keandra Simmons arrested by police after employees at the Shake Shack store named him as a thief who had robbed the store a few days earlier. Now, according to the reports, 33-year-old who works at the same Shake Shack restaurant allegedly entered the restaurant August 3rd, held employees at gunpoint, and demanded the staff open the safe. How dumb do you have to be to rob your own staff?
Hey, guys, what's up? You come
and
back?
Not only that, but not do it in all right, I'm getting out of this job for good now.
That's right. He comes back to work.
In 2 days later.
Yeah, I'm here,
now,
boys.
This guy has got to spit the marbles out of his mouth. How many do you think he's got in his mouth in total?
That's some big cheeks.
Now, the robber able to get away with $3,000, which came after he allegedly forced staff members into a walk-in cooler where he locked them in.
He just happened to know where the walk-in was. He knew right where to go.
But how about this? Per NBC 15 again, Simmons returned to work 2 days later and was confronted by police in the parking lot, was taken into custody with workers pointing out that he would have knowledge required to pull off the daring heist. He is being held by police on a $100,000 bond, faces charges of both armed robbery and kidnapping. So everybody was like, okay, our man, Keandra, is scheduled to work on the 5th. He'll be here at 2 o'clock. The cops are waiting on him, and what does he do? He shows up on time.
Yep, I'm right here. The one time he was here on time.
Yeah.
The one day he didn't call out.
Authorities in Tacoma, Washington discovered an abandoned sailboat anchored off Owen Beach that turned out to be crewed entirely by a colony of more than 30 cats.
Yuck.
Tacoma Police's Marine Services Unit responded to reports of an abandoned boat August 6, 2026, finding dozens of cats and kittens living in unsafe conditions inside. Now, extracting the animals proved difficult, given the boat's tight quarters and countless hiding spots. According to the News Tribune, crews had corralled 31 cats and kittens into crates by Friday afternoon, with several more still hiding in the boat's floorboards and inaccessible spaces.
Boy, I bet this thing's...
Oh, God.
Can you imagine the smelly cat urine?
No, I cannot. I don't think you can get the cat urine out, can you?
I don't think so. Yeah. My aunt's, my
she
great
a cat
aunt,
lady?
She wasn't a stereotypical cat lady.
Did you ever date a Corvette guy?
No. Okay. No, my great uncle's a Ford pickup truck kind of guy.
Okay.
Like nothing else. But she had at one point 24 cats. Well, Brooke says that's a cat lady.
Yeah, that is. She had 24
every time there would
cats.
be a stray that wandered into the
that's
yard.
A cat lady.
You go more than 3, it's a cat lady.
Yeah.
Tyler, come here.
You're either
24.
24.
You can't even count 24 in this shot.
That's a 2-deep roster there.
I know.
Yeah, it really is.
She's got All-American.
A whole
team.
signing class.
Yeah. We had Thanksgiving over there every year, and I'm allergic to cats.
Why?
Oh.
I
mean, honestly, what did it smell like?
What did you serve? Fancy feast?
No. Some of the cats were outside cats only. Most of them were, but there were a handful that would stay inside.
Oof.
But
to answer your question, you can't get that smell out. I had a
no, you can't.
We had an indoor-outdoor cat that one time pissed in my shoes that were out in the garage, and we just had to throw them away. I mean, that was it. That was the end of those shoes.
I'll tell you, man. Even the dog smell, and you know. I got fortunate on the first few dogs I had. Italian Greyhounds, they just didn't have that dog smell. Ladybird didn't have that dog smell. But Bullet, coming from wherever he came from, he has brought that shit in with him, and he'll get it on the couch, and we have to clean the couch consistently all the time. And I don't know. Like, I'm kind of embarrassed when people come over because I don't know if I got the dog smell or not. And it's just a dirty ass smell.
Yeah.
Ferrets have a weird smell.
I heard that. Didn't Rockstar used to? Was it ferrets he had that he said
I
they
think
stunk?
he did. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandmother kept ferrets, and like anytime you walked in, you should be like, "Yep,
yeah,
that's that ferret smell."
Yeesh.
It's not like a bad smell. It's like not like the cat smell or
Yeah.
like a dog pee
It's a
smell.
unique
It's
smell.
just very distinct.
What do you do with the ferret?
Well, I mean, like, they're real sweet. They'll cuddle up with you and everything. Not like a dog will, but, like, you can give them a little, like, sort of hamster ball to run around the floor in.
Do they have a personality?
They do.
Okay.
They're very mischievous. They like to get into things and start stealing and stashing them away under beds and stuff.
I say mischievous. Mischievous.
I never say that. I say
Yeah.
mischievous. I think
That's
you can say it either
yeah,
way.
I'm
but-
sure you can.
Yeah.
It's like when a news anchor says details instead of details. Is what that reminds me of.
I don't know if I say that. Details. I get more
Emphasis
details.
on a different
I
syllable.
think I say
I know,
details.
That is Trash, presented by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Crack one on the golf course near you this afternoon. Matt Moscana, friend of the show, on Twitter earlier this hour says, the LSU Jayden Daniels saga takes another strange turn. Just a quick recap. If you were not with us to start the show or have not seen the breaking news today, Jayden Daniels, in the wake of a new LSU player being allowed to wear number 5, has demanded through his attorney, who is his mom, that LSU no longer use his name, image, and likeness for anything at LSU. So a ugly divorce between a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback and the school at which he won the Heisman. Matt Moscana takes it one step further. The LSU Jayden Daniels saga takes another strange turn, Moscana tweets. Sources confirm Daniels camp wants LSU to return its copy of the Heisman Trophy, something LSU has no intention of doing.
They shouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Boy, how petty
Man,
is this guy?
I mean, this is torching the bridge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our guy Connor O'Gara actually posted something earlier, and I wasn't super familiar with this. Apparently, he had a pretty ugly breakup with Arizona State as well.
You know,
on his way out.
Well, Herm was on the show
with us
yesterday.
Yeah, and he said he just talked to him the other day.
Yeah, but maybe I'm sure Herm had a messy breakup from
That's
Arizona
true.
State too.
That is true. Yeah.
So I you have no idea what direction this is going to go, but yeah, I assume there's a lot more to this story behind the scenes than just a player getting my number.
Yeah. Daniels apparently reached out to LSU leadership before fall camp, according to Matt, and says Lane Kiffin has personally spoken to Daniels. So he and Lane have been in contact.
Well, I'm sure Lane wants him to still be part of that program. I mean,
Yeah.
you got a quarterback that won a Heisman Trophy that was just in an NFC Championship game 2 years ago. He's one of the rising stars in the NFL. You want to be able to use this guy, I mean, that's a major recruiting chip.
I just really, and we see this all the time in the world of the transfer portal. This is obviously a different situation, but I've brought it up before. Like, I just hope these players step back and realize that one day they're probably going to want to go back to these stadiums and be welcomed back and be cheered on. And I guess that's less important for a part of this generation of players than it's ever been. Like, that would mean something to me, right? That if I'm, fill in the player, whatever, Derrick Henry or Cam Newton, I can go back to Tuscaloosa. I'm treated like a god. They show me on the Jumbotron. The place goes nuts. If I'm Cam Newton, I do that at Auburn, the place goes nuts. I guess they just don't care anymore.
Yeah,
some of them, not all of them.
That would be the ideal situation, but let's just go random Jackson Arnold.
Exactly. That's
Oklahoma,
my point. Yeah.
Auburn, UNLV, you don't have a home.
He's not welcome to any of those places. He's not welcome to any of those places.
No,
UNLV, but he hasn't played there yet.
That was part of why Ty Simpson declared for the draft instead of staying. I mean, obviously it worked out well for him as a first-round pick, but he wasn't assured of that, before he made that decision.
No, but he said it himself.
Yeah, he could have gone to Miami and made $6 million.
That's right. He said it himself. He wanted to have a legacy somewhere, and his legacy was going to be at Alabama. It wasn't winning a championship, so he'll never be remembered among the greats in Alabama because he didn't win a championship. But I promise you, 10 years from now, when the Rams have a bye week and Ty Simpson's on the sidelines, and the camera hits Ty Simpson, the place will go nuts. They love Ty Simpson.
By the way, where would LSU even return this to? It's not his. He doesn't own it. The university gets a copy of it, and he gets his own personal.
That's a
send
good
it
question.
Back to the
I
Heisman
guess you
Trust.
send it to the Heisman Trust. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or
No.
send it to Vapor. Before I'd send it to Jayden Daniels, I'd give it to Vapor.
Hey, we'll put it in here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We'll start.
We'll
a
put it
trophy
next
case.
to the helmet.
Yeah, the next round
Is that
helmet.
still sitting over there?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, okay.
The other one's right there. Yeah,
No, I mean, if we had a Heisman, I mean, we would. It would be in this shot.
yeah,
somewhere.
we'd find a way. We'd maybe build a little right in front of Lance right here. Build a little shelf for the Heisman.
Let's put a new placard on it where it
that's
doesn't
right.
have his name on it.
Yeah, well, we can't use Jayden Daniels' name, image, and
Yeah,
likeness,
no,
so.
yeah. If LSU's barred from it, do you think TNR is too?
We've got a lot up at Next Round Live right now. Tyler, the next reel is up. I saw some of it when I came in this morning.
It is up. Lance and I talked Spider-Man, and I ranked all 11 Spider-Man movies.
I pretty much listened.
Another
but yes.
edition of the next reel with Tyler Johns. I'm Lance.
Yes.
Yeah. Tyler knows his Spider-Man inside and out, and apparently there's controversy because I had somebody reach out to me and he's, man, Tyler ranked them wrong. This is the way you need to do it.
Why
and I'm
would
like,
you rank them wrong, Tyler?
reach out to Tyler and you guys debate the 1 through 11.
Yeah, every time I make a list, someone says, well, no, that's wrong. This is the list.
I think it's subjective, right?
Yeah, and my answer is always the same. Make your own list.
That's right.
We'll,
you don't
we'll
like
critique
it.
that.
You don't like it.
But I thought it was a solid list. I tried to, balance everything out, all the different sort of biases and categories I could rank these movies in and come up with a list. And, some people like it, some people don't. Go check it out for yourself and let me know what you think.
If you did not watch the most recent Last Call either, it's been out a few days with Jake and Mick Gillespie. Jake Coker warns what a quarterback battle could do to an offense, that there is a negative to it as well, a downside. So go watch the latest Last Call with Mick Gillespie and Jake Coker and see more on that.
Look at Mick's shirt.
That's a bold shirt.
Oh, and don't forget that in approximately 65 seconds, we got a brand new OG kickoff out.
That's right. No Conor O'Gara show tomorrow. We're not going to have a live show tomorrow. That'll be back next week. But a brand new OG kickoff coming up in about 60 seconds. It'll be live. So, I mean, that's all right there. The same exact place you're getting this information at Next Round Live. Set your alerts and make sure you subscribe so you get it all. Thank you for joining us for the show today. We'll have a Friday edition of the Next Round coming up tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Till then, have yourself a great afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow.